So, Sam,
Yeah, hit me up.
you are a pretty tall fellow, right?
That's true.
One might say you're kaiju-sized.
We'll find out by the end of this whole Odyssey. I'm sure we'll find a kaiju that matches me in size. Yes, I hope so.
Well, I mean, especially to a short fellow like myself. I've always looked up to you as kaiju-sized. So it's not, out of the realm of possibility that one day you'd be adopting your own kaiju child, right?
I mean, that's the aspiration of any kaiju-sized adult human being, yes.
Absolutely. And so I wanted to know what would be the most important, most pressing lesson that you want to pass on to your next generation of kaiju.
Wonderful. Yeah, because we need to guide the future.
Yeah.
What would I teach them? Oh, geez, that's a tough one. Always, keep the door open for people behind you. That's an important one.
Sure.
Don't spit. Pleases and thank yous.
Don't spit in general. Don't spit on the floor.
Give up the seat on the bus for sure.
A kaiju-sized loogie would be pretty.
Would be pretty intimate. That's why you can't do it. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Tough question. It's pretty simple. You know what? Just do what you feel's right. Never give up, and do your best.
Okay, sounds good. That's probably a kaiju well taught.
Yeah, and like if you're gonna make a cup of tea, steep it for at least 2 to 3 minutes. There you go. Solid advice.
Okay, if I'm honest, that was the kind of advice I was looking for.
Yeah, sure. That's innate, bro. That's typically innate.
As far as a lesson I might teach a kaiju child. One of these times we're gonna get it. We are gonna get it.
Yeah. So obviously the tea is really important for me, for my kaiju child. But Raymond, if you had to teach a miniature Raymond kaiju, what lessons would you teach it?
What lessons would I teach it? I would. So I did think about this a little bit, and what is the number one defense strategy against Godzilla in these films that we've seen?
Be flying.
Okay.
That's a huge one. Fly, peck his head. He cannot deal with it. And also, spray stuff at him.
Yeah. I was thinking more, what are the humans doing?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No.
I mean,
there's one recurrent strat that we've seen.
Absolutely. I mean, how many volts we say in 100,000?
Exactly. So I was thinking I'm going to teach my kid how to rig up some sort of system that changes all those pesky volts into like a nice massage, like one of those electric pad
terrific.
Massages. Yeah. I think that would be pretty useful. And one other thing I might impart, especially based on the movie we watched this time, I might teach them how to knit a nice warm hat. Hello, friends, and welcome to the G-Spot. It's a place where we glorify and make a case for B, C, and D movies of yesterday and today that, despite being the monsters they are, deserve your attention, respect, and, dare I say it, love. And if you're curious, the G stands for Godzilla. I am one of your 2 courageous kaiju co-hosts. My name is Raymond, and I'm not alone.
What's up, G-heads? It's Sam. We're back, and it's a good one. There's been a renaissance, a rebirth. The Phoenix has risen again in the series of Godzilla.
Wow. Number one, I'm glad we've named our listeners, finally.
Let's take the plural off our listener.
Yeah, hey, Mom.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
I have to say, yes, I was pretty concerned with your morale before we got to this movie, and I was so pleased to get that text from you.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like you're back.
Oh, big time. And it really speaks to the oddity that was Ibira. Like, you can tell it was a movie that was never meant to involve Godzilla and not be part of this grand world that we're creating, because we are continuing the creation of the Godzilla world, and we're sticking to Godzilla being a protecting kind of force, because although Godzilla is protective somewhat in Ebirah, it's very kind of chaotic good rather than moral good, which he is now. So it's great to be back in the world that we were part of. You can really understand why Ebirah was the one-off that it was.
Absolutely. And the movie in question that we are hinting at, this is 1967's Son of Godzilla. But before we talk about that, I want to get the kaiju-sized cat out of the bag right away, buddy. This is our season 1 finale.
Oh, hot dog.
Hot dog. You and I are both full-time teachers, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. And even though we love educating ourselves and our legion of one listener about the Godzilla franchise.
Our G-head.
Producing these episodes takes a serious amount of work. So when we were envisioning and first recording this podcast, we decided to go more the route of serial than My Brother, and Me, and we're opting for a seasonal format that will give us enough time to cook and make these episodes before we release them in batches.
I certainly hope that the listener, the G-head, can pick up on the improvements, hopefully, throughout the fledgling series, I suppose.
If you've listened to all of season 1, you will notice many changes. The last being we waited till our finale to both have microphones.
Have decent equipment.
Yes, but hey, we're here now, so season 2 is going to be a real...
It's like riding the bus, and then at the end of it, you finally have enough money to own a car.
It's like season 2 is going to be on fire, dude. It's going to be be fantastic. We're going to burn the internet down. We can't give you a hard and fast answer on how much time there will be between seasons, but I think we're both comfortable saying that we won't stop working on new episodes for the next batch, and that next batch will complete the Showa era of films.
Yeah, there is no way I'm going to stop watching these movies. So it will happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll be finished when it's finished. Essentially, I think we'll both be back sooner than you might think, and if you're really clamoring for more and missing us, first, that's incredibly kind of you, but if you're really missing us in this interim, you can also always reach out and send us an email at gspotpod@gmail.com, GEE spotpod@gmail.com. You'll likely get a response because we don't have much else going.
Apart from our busy full-time careers, of course.
And you may even hear it read out loud in a future episode. We also have, we have an idea or two for maybe something small in the interim if...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
To help our listener tide themselves over.
That's right.
It's going to be we're going to get a lot of mileage out of this bit.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so with that bit of housekeeping out of the way, let's talk Spawn, Offspring. So, big spoiler, Godzilla has a son now. It's right in the title.
Yep, a son. That's the thing. It's a boy.
Oh, yeah. It's a darling baby boy. And did you think we'd be seeing Godzilla sire a child so soon? He doesn't really sire it.
That's a conversation itself. I didn't do any reading around this movie whatsoever. Like, I don't know any of the Godzilla
have all the
wikis.
deets for you.
Yeah, but I'm sure theories abound about where this child came from. Like, there is no doubt in anyone's mind that is Godzilla's child. So the creation method is, something for another day. But it doesn't surprise me. You see it all the time. What was I thinking about? There's baby Muppets. There's baby Bowser. Like in Nintendo, you have all the babies, right? And you have baby Yoda, right? So we are very much playing the game of, I don't know, merchandise, children's movies. We have left the world of nuclear annihilation, I think, to a certain extent, and we've moved into the world of cuddly fun time with Godzilla, which I'm very much open to. It's not all cuddly. There's some pretty scary critters out there on Monster Island.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm always surprised with the changes that come, and I'm kind of surprised this happened as quick as it did. But maybe that's just me being kind of naive. I would love to know Honda's reaction to that question.
Yeah, that's a big question mark, right? What does Honda make of all this? Because this is not a Honda movie.
Your boy Fukuda, back to back, and he's done a lot better. I'll be honest. Maybe it's the script more than him, but boy howdy, I enjoyed this way more than Ebirah.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a relief. I was a little concerned last time, but I'm glad you're back on board. I was gonna ask if we think Godzilla is a good father figure right up top to Minilla, but maybe that's something we should kind of check in on as
Yeah.
we go.
We'll watch his parental fatherly guidance and we can assess it.
Yeah. I want to also make a quick note up top here on pronunciation. I grew up calling this little dude Minya, and I think a lot of the Western audience also did.
They have a name.
Either.
Where did you get the name from?
Yes, they do. So I grew up calling him Minya or Manila, but
Like minis, like
on the
mini-
back
yeah,
of the VHS boxes, they would have little icons of each of the different kaiju that would appear in each entry with a little symbol of them and then their name. And I think it was actually Minya there. But I only learned in researching this episode that the official pronunciation is, in fact, Minila, as in mini Godzilla.
Yeah.
And I'll get to the name a little later.
Yeah, I'll happily talk about it then.
I want to preface also my info up top with why Godzilla is suddenly apparent in this film. It's a huge
Great question.
step in a very singular direction
Yes.
that Toho is taking for this entry. It's peak family friendly for kids Godzilla.
Yes.
In all caps. And the franchise has arguably never been this schlocky up to this
This
point.
is family friendly, by the numbers, focus group driven.
Do you want to guess why they took this step, or should I just tell you?
I mean, I expect it's for dollar. I think it's you want a new generation of Godzilla fans, so you get the young kids, and then it stays with them forever, right? And then they're gonna get their kids to watch it, and you end up in 2026 with two middle-aged men talking on mic stands with the 1G head, and here we are.
Oh no,
It's all part of the same
real.
narrative.
It's too real. No, you're exactly right. Unsurprisingly, it's money. Toho wanted more of it, and they decided that they might appeal to a newly burgeoning audience of young couples out on dates.
Young couples.
With a cute little baby monster.
I see.
Reasoning that women especially would
Oh,
like a
yeah.
cuter skewing addition to the Toho stable.
Absolutely, that's fair.
Jun Fukuda, back from directing the previous entry, 1966's Ebirah Horror of the Deep, had this to say on Minila's inclusion. We wanted to take a new approach, so we gave Godzilla a child. We thought it would be a little strange if we gave Godzilla a daughter. So instead, we gave him a son.
Wow, straight up.
Really, really deep stuff there.
What is the strangeness? Anyhow.
Yeah, right. Along with this new creative angle, one which longtime Godzilla screenwriter Shinichi Sekizawa heartily approved of,
He did.
as he was having trouble generating new ideas for monster movies each year.
Oh, yeah, fair play. Like, how many is he making every day?
Fukuda also wanted to continue the trend of anthropomorphizing Godzilla and the protagonist monsters,
Big time.
thus putting the relationship between the Big G and his offspring front and center throughout the film.
And just how the baby looks as well.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Just his appearance.
Yeah.
So I have some basic info about the movie. It is
Is it a Japanese
language.
Son of a gun.
Got him. Did I get him? This one clocks in at a slim 86-minute runtime. In Japanese, it's titled Kijuto no Kessen, Gojira no Musuko, which translates to Monster Island's Decisive Battle, Godzilla's Son.
Wow, if we're doing the movie name game already, that tells you everything you need to know about the movie pretty much.
Yeah, man. Even the subtitle is,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like we're on Monster Island, shit goes down, and there's a baby.
Shit goes down and then there's a baby. I think a surprising amount of couples could probably attest
Yes,
to that.
absolutely, yeah.
So, because our A-team of director Ishiro Honda, special effects director Eiji Tsuburaya, and composer Akira Fukube were all filming 1967's King Kong Escapes as a bit of an apology to Rankin Bass. You can see our previous episode for more on that.
It's brutal, isn't it?
So, because they're all off doing the apology film,
Yeah.
Toho once again tapped the B team, who had worked on the previous year's Ebirah, for Son of Godzilla. That is, Jun Fukuda is directing. Special effects direction is coming from Sadamasa Arikawa. He, I mentioned last time, is one of the two, maybe more, proteges of Eiji Tsuburaya. He also likely had a bit of over-the-shoulder assistance from Tsuburaya here. And additionally, our script is once again written by Shinichi Sekizawa. It stars Akira Kubo, Tadao Takashima, Bibari Maeda, and a returning eye patchless Akihiko Harada.
Yeah. It's a fairly rejuvenated cast, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of new people.
Yeah, there are. A shout out to the special effects dude as well, because there's some pretty cool bits in this movie, especially with the mantis or manti that we're going to meet. Like, there were moments where I was like, that's pretty cool. We haven't seen that before.
Yeah, man. I think one of the shining spots of this movie to a lot of fans or people who've looked at it over the years are the special effects and the puppetry work, especially.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
In the kaiju costumes, I was shocked to learn that Haro Nakajima only played Godzilla in water scenes.
Oh.
Instead, this time, Saiji Onaka and Hiroshi Sekita took over Big G duties since a larger costume was used to accentuate the height difference between Godzilla and Minilla.
I was curious about if there was perhaps a change in the suit, but hopefully he was okay with sharing his role.
I hope so too. I hope he didn't feel like shunted aside or anything. Though he plays a kaiju in almost every Toho film up to this point, so I think he's not.
He's happy to share the load. Yeah,
for real. As difficult as that job is, as we know. So yeah, they needed taller actors in the suit this time. In Minilla's case, this film marks the Toho debut of Masao Fukazawa, a professional wrestler and theater performer who acted under the stage name Little Man Machan.
What a resume.
Yeah.
Seriously. Wrestling, theater, kaiju. That's a life well lived.
I fucking loved Fukazawa's performance.
Yeah, we can talk about it when we get there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd love to know why you loved it. It's distinct, that's for sure.
It's definitely distinct.
It is.
Yes. So it initially released on December 16th, 1967,
Christmas
marking
movie.
another holiday season entry in the franchise.
And this one is way more on brand for a wintry movie, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I once again had a hard time finding a budget box office take. And
It's all about the rentals.
so take the following with a grain of salt, but I gathered that this film starts a bit of a slump for the franchise, making somewhere around $4 million less than Abura. It's a slump that would pretty much continue for the next 7 entries, which is likely why the franchise went dormant when it did in the mid-70s. But that's a conversation for a later episode. Let's get into some trivia.
Yeah.
So, an early draft of this film was called Tokyo SOS, Two Godzillas, exclamation point.
That could be a terrific computer game.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah. This version of the film would have seen a blue-skinned 30-meter tall Godzilla Jr. terrorizing Japan alongside its father, a much more aggressive angle on the concept.
Yeah.
Tell me, Sam, would you rather have seen that take?
I would watch that take. It'd be nice to go back, kind of revisit the whole I'm here to destroy you routine, and now I've got my boy with me. And I don't know. How, if you could predict, how would they deal with 2 Godzillas attacking Tokyo? What do you reckon the humans...
Well, you're going to need a lot of volts for that.
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe there's a satellite in the sky or something that could figure it out.
Yeah, it seems, without, spoiling too much down the line, it seems more like a take that would belong in one of the other eras of the franchise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So they filmed this movie on the island of Guam, which is fun. It's a lovely place. It's right next door to Saipan, where I had my honeymoon. Did you go to Guam, Sam,
I didn't
while
go
you
to
were out in
Guam,
Asia?
but I must admit, when I saw this movie, and you might remember before I watched it, I predicted there'd be a journalist, an island, blah, blah, blah. And lo and behold, we're on an island.
Oh, you predicted in text pretty much every main element of this film
As a joke.
prior to watching it, and I was like, "Oh fuck, he's quitting the podcast. It's happening this time."
But I certainly felt like we'd been to this island before. I'm sure a lot of the scenes are up within sets like movie studios, but it certainly felt like the same island that we always go to.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Honestly, it's fine.
Let's talk Minilla a little bit, Sam. In the script for this film, Minilla's name was simply Childzilla or Kojira or Gojira Jr., but Toho decided to go a different route with the official moniker. His name was chosen through a naming campaign.
Oh, clever.
Toho took submissions from the public, reportedly 8,211 applicants, and then a raffle was held.
Wow.
There was a ceremony and press conference that took place, and Minilla, who was in attendance, had been submitted 135 times.
Oh, okay. So it was like a tombola spinning around, and they just plugged plucked one out. And
I believe so.
that is surprisingly liberal because of the stuff you could have pulled. I'm sure there must have been the screening process.
Or Japan's just all so nice that nothing
Oh, sure.
untoward made it in.
Yeah, you play that game in 2025, 2026.
No way.
We kind of mentioned with teachers, you would never have had this problem, but online games like Kahoot, and there's one I don't use Kahoot that much, but GimKit.
Yeah, quizzes.
Yep, and the students get to choose their name if you let them choose their name, and let me tell you, you quickly learn not to let them choose their name. Because your projector is just full of curse words. Maybe the Japanese in the mid to late 60s weren't quite
so much profanity. So yeah, Minilla was submitted 135 times. Minilla, I assume, as played by Little Man Machan, was there.
You're right.
I have some pictures of the ceremony that I've sent to you.
Raymond, thank you.
So please check that link.
I've got. I have. You cannot be serious.
Yeah.
Oh my days. This is the highest form of art that humans have ever created. So what you can't see is Godzilla and his baby, who has yet to be named, are standing on a stage. Mm-hmm. What is Baby Zilla wearing at this time? His name is Baby Zilla.
Yes. So Baby Zilla has it's like a traditional Japanese garb of some kind. It only goes over each shoulder.
It's a vest with a rope that tied up, but it's very traditional custom for Japan. So it's quite adorable. And if you don't know what Manila looks like, boy howdy.
He's a potato-y version of Godzilla.
We'll get to that, but he's fetching in this outfit. And then they turn over the sheet hiding his name, and Godzilla and Manila are cheering as they present his name Manila in English and hiragana, I imagine. Anyhow, it's an adorable photo.
It is.
Wow.
Very quickly on Manila's appearance. Usually when I'm watching these films, I do it when my wife's at work or when I have the house to myself.
Yes.
But I was watching parts of this one while she was coming in and out. And when I'm watching one of these and she is home, she usually just ignores it completely. But Manila and his appearance on screen was absolutely enough to make her pause and say, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, I must admit, my wife she's very cooperative. Every now and then I'll be like, "Hey, do you fancy watching this with me?" And out comes the phone, but she's like, "Yeah, absolutely." But I do get her to put the phone down anytime G-Man's on the screen or there's a fight to be had, and I think that stuff does tickle her when she gets to see it. I think she was there for King Kong's fight with Godzilla, which is iconic in so many different ways.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. I'm glad our wives are getting a little enjoyment out of this. And we can share that with them a little bit. They might be, 2 of our 3 G-heads.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay. So Little Man Machan was hired to play the role of Manila as he was a talented play actor. So when I say play actor, I mean he's able to give the baby kaiju a childlike energy and playfulness, in addition to being able to, roll, flip, and tumble inside the rubber suit. And boy, does he tumble, Sam.
He has a move set. It's rigid in some regards.
I don't think that's from lack of trying. I think that's a suit.
Well, Raymond, I mean, if this movie teaches us anything, is to try again, never give up.
Damn straight.
That's for sure.
As I've already alluded to, this movie does have 2 other kaiju who we haven't named yet. Sam also alluded to one of them. And I still want to keep them in reserve for now for our recap. But I will say now that they were both brought to the screen through puppetry and marionette work, Arikawa reportedly had 20 puppeteers at a time working to bring life to these beasts.
That's pretty cool. Just imagine you're one of those people.
Yeah. There's one thing that always comes through in these Toho Godzilla films, and that is a love for the craft and being part of the team that brought that to audiences must have felt really special. Yeah. Probably not so different from, I know the Muppets make appearances in our show fairly often. It's got to be similar to being a Muppeteer.
Absolutely.
I found this next one funny in a dark, perverse kind of way. Apparently quite a few scenes were shot of Godzilla being harsh or downright abusive toward Minilla. Some of them are still in the movie.
Raymond, we should talk about Godzilla's parental skills when they show up, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. When I say downright abusive, abusive.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Basically how one might assume an actual monster would be as a parent. One involved Godzilla abandoning his son on a freezing island. Another showed him headbutting the little guy in order to get him to stop following one of the film's characters around.
Yeah.
In Japan, this film was released as a double feature with Happiness for You, Sentimental Boy.
Wow, what a title.
It's a film I could find absolutely nothing about other than a very schmaltzy looking DVD cover.
Okay.
Critical reception of this entry is unsurprisingly pretty mixed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially among general audiences. On Rotten Tomatoes, it currently sits at 31% positive audience reviews and 63 with critics, and that's out of 16 reviews. It's more than most of the previous entries we've checked in on.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, a few notable blurbs I have here. The Monthly Film Bulletin, a British Film Institute periodical that ran from 1934 to 1991,
Dang.
said it was, yeah, it's a throwback. They said it was out of the top drawer of the Toho Company's monster file.
Oh, done.
Yeah, with the special effects department achieving their best results in monster locomotion.
Very savvy.
And that it has the advantage of a more soundly constructed story than most of its predecessors and a delightful vein of humor that allows for a gentle parody of the genre.
I think they've nailed it. Well done to that magazine. Hopefully they have surviving G-heads in our fan base one day. Because I think that's a really good description of this movie. Well done to that defunct movie.
Paul Lay, writing for Bloody Disgusting, also liked it, saying, as easy as it is to beat up on Son of Godzilla, there's a loveliness about it that gets buried underneath all the criticisms, in parentheses, valid as they may be.
So what are these valid criticisms?
I have a few. But but I'll save those for after the recap. Tim Brayton.
I know one.
Okay. Tim Brayton of Antagony and Ecstasy was not so friendly, writing, want to know what it looks like when the bottom falls out of a movie franchise? Because it looks like Son of Godzilla.
Why?
Oof.
Why? What is wrong with you that you have to say that? But that's unnecessarily mean to a movie that is good. That's nice.
It is mean, yeah. Steve Crum agreed, writing for the frankly lazily named Kansas City Kansan. Okay. A baby big breath? You betcha. Just who or what was Godzilla's spouse? That's the blurb.
There's nothing wrong with that question, but that's not a critique of the movie.
I mean, I have some criticisms, but Steve Crum from the Kansas City Kansan.
He's a very proud Kansan.
I don't know about that blurb. I want to end on a positive note. Adrian Turner of Time Out wrote, the energy level is high, the technology ridiculous, and the subtext bang up to date.
The British people will totally understand what's going on in this movie and that it's just a joyful, fun movie. And Steve and the other person just enjoy life a bit more, I suppose.
Yeah. That is certainly not one of my critiques, that this is not a fun movie. I had a ball.
No. Yeah.
All right. So before we can give our own acutely insightful critical opinions, I have just a few goofy alternate international titles for you, Sam.
Watang.
So once again, these come courtesy of Wikizilla, and I only have a few this time.
Okay.
Spain, Mexico, Poland, Brazil, and the Netherlands stayed in line and called this the Son of Godzilla. Wow. Adding just the one article.
Okay, singing from the same hymn sheet.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Sweden called it Godzilla's son.
Okay, fair enough. It's just a question of syntax at this point.
Yeah. Italy called this film The Return of Gorgo.
Oh, terrific. Italy, God bless you. When everyone took the singular path, you were Robert Frost. You took the path, Lester. I'm glad you did. Well done, Italy.
I want to call out that last time Lebanon called Abira Return of Gorgo.
I do remember the Gorgo vein that comes from Lebanon.
Yeah, man, and Italy poached it here. I mean,
the same way they poached the Greek gods, right? They just took something fantastic and kept that train going.
That's fair. West Germany was added again with Frankenstein's monsters hunt Godzilla's son.
What is the time zone difference with West Germany? There must be some kind of time vortex because they are really not up to date. you know what? Maybe it's bad intel. I've been reading lots of Cold War spy thriller stuff recently. Maybe they have a KGB agent inside West Germany feeding them lines.
No.
That's hilarious.
Finland, they were cutting in on West Germany's game, and they called it Frankenstein's Island.
Sure. That's a great title.
Yeah, and Belgium called it Planet of the Monsters. That's all I've got.
Planet of the Monsters is a pretty cool title, but what did Italy call it again? Return of Gorgo?
The Return of Gorgo.
The Return of Gorgo. I gotta give it to Italy.
Okay.
Belgium. I mean, they all called it the Son of Godzilla. That's fair enough, I suppose. But yeah, you can't really fault them for calling it that movie. But the Italians they put a bit of pepper on there, right? Bit of spice.
They were also Watang, weren't they?
Oh yeah, they were Watang.
Yeah. So
Lord knows what. I can't remember the rest of the title they called it, but Watang stood out.
Yeah. So, their title game is strong.
Oh, that's appropriate, right? We finished the first season. The Italians win the Watang title.
So once again, I do have just a tiny note on the American dub of this film. It was not released theatrically in the States. Again, instead, It was released straight to television, again by the Walter Reed Organization, and this was in 1969. So this is the same company who released Abira Horror of the Deep.
A couple years later. But yeah, it doesn't bode well for the Godzilla franchise, does it? Straight to TV movies.
Yeah. So that's all my trivia. Shall we start our recap?
Shall we?
So Sam, before we start talking about this movie properly, I would like to hear an elevator pitch.
All right. So these probably get worse as the series goes on, but here's
you're too hard on yourself.
We have Kamakuras, Kumongas, and Kawabungas. Godzilla and his baby are here to teach us the power is guided, not inherited, in this family fun romp for everybody.
Wow. Okay. That has a rhythm to it that I really appreciate. I think this might be your strongest one. I don't know why you're so hard on it. Yeah, man. That was great.
Awesome. Watch it.
All right. So, lots of ominous and thrilling strings accompany our opening this time, but no credits right away.
It's a schizophrenic beginning to this movie.
Oh, yes. Instead, we jump right in on a stormy sea at night, raging wind and rain coming down in sheets. Some kind of military plane, I guess.
It stinks of Macbeth and Hamlet, right? Starting with a stormy
night. Okay, yeah. Oh, I get it. I didn't make that connection.
Anytime a movie starts with a storm, it's coming from your boy Shakespeare, who stole it from whoever.
It's hard to tell what kind of plane because it's so dark, but yeah, I do think it was a military plane. It's cutting through this din. It's being flown by 3 men in brown uniforms with winged patches, and they're saying their radios just cut out.
Yeah.
The pilot is saying it must be due to the electrical storm, but the man at the radio itself, he says it's more like it's due to brain waves, quote unquote.
Looks like brain waves, yeah.
And that sort of interference. Let's make a note next to that.
Yes.
Then what has to be the series' fastest introduction to Godzilla yet.
And not a bad one either.
No, at the 1 minute mark. This kind of seems like something you'd see in a modern Hollywood movie.
Yeah, okay.
Like mid-franchise, if you want to just cut to the chase. But yeah, at about the 1 minute mark, the co-pilot screams, "Watch out, it's Godzilla!" And we are treated.
It is reminiscent of the first time you ever see Godzilla on North Island when his head pops over the horizon. You just get this long, gangly neck and goggly-eyed lizard just looking up to you with a completely brain dead expression.
Yeah,
as he screeches at you.
Yes, in the dark and rain.
It's everything it shouldn't be, but it should be. It's like, this is not terrifying. It's brilliant, but it is terrifying. Thank you so much, Toho.
Yeah, this intensely goofy mug. He's just looking at them through the stormy cockpit windows. It's a wild start. I was taken aback.
These are the kind of things that I point out to my wife, being like, just watch this first minute, and you're gonna be sold on the rest of this movie.
Right. Yeah. So the plane circles Godzilla, who is, we see, waist deep in the ocean, just strolling along, doing his own thing.
Loves it.
The plane pulls up to avoid the atomic monster, and then it levels out, changing course to go around it, while it's reported that the radio interference has suddenly disappeared. It's gone as quick as it's come.
But they figured out he's a man on a mission.
Godzilla. Yeah. So the crew, who's pretty damn fast to figure all this out, I should mention, it's saying the interference is probably not from Godzilla, but there's a small island nearby, and I made a mention here in my notes. Yay, it's another island, Sam.
That's right. Seriously. It gets better, though.
Yeah, oh yeah. And they're saying that something on this island is causing the disturbance, not Godzilla. We also get the name of the island. It's called Solgel, or Solgel, as confirmed by a rapid zoom on one of the crew's charts that they have spread out on a table. Let's see. So the captain says maybe something is calling Godzilla there. Yeah. And as if in response, we see Godzilla himself give a roar outside and an expressive shake of the arms before continuing his progress through the stormy sea. That's when we get our title card, big, thick red font.
Yep.
Son of Godzilla.
So when I say the intro is schizophrenic, we have gone from a dark and stormy and, just a maelstrom. Godzilla showed up, screamed, hit the title credits, and then where do we go? What are we treated to?
Smash cut to a wide shot of Solgal Island in the distance, and the music.
Yeah.
It's like 50s or 60s era sitcom soundtrack.
Like Tropical Adventure.
I felt like I could see this in a scene transition on I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
Or something.
It was so lighthearted. Compared to everything we were just treated to, it was insanely lighthearted.
Yeah, it's a totally different movie. We see our opening credits now over, different shots of the island. We see lots of palm trees waving in the wind.
It's beautiful. It's a nice, happy presentation of this island.
For sure. Grassy fields, a river. Eventually, we do see two men in boots and short-sleeved khaki uniforms, almost like safari uniforms with smaller hats. One of them's carrying a rifle. They are traversing the island. These men are sweaty and tired, and they arrive at a scientific station or outpost of some kind. And I'm feeling at this point that this is very reminiscent of the previous film, where we also had a lot of
some kind of institute based upon an island,
and we had like a lot of brightly colored
Yes.
facilities.
Oh, you're absolutely. I noticed the same thing. Yeah, we have blues and yellows. Let's go back to the island thing, the island motif. You do get the whole happy music, as you say, like I Love Lucy, upbeat, adventurous. Is this the first time then island has been introduced in a movie in a positive way?
Oh, like not foreboding?
Yeah, precisely. Because we had Skull Islands, Infant Islands,
Faroe
North Island, Faroe Islands.
As you say, even Infant Island, which...
you may have Mothra there, but
right.
99% of it is wasteland.
The presentation of Infant Island has become a little softer in subsequent films, but when we first go there,
that's true.
It is a skeleton-strewn beach that's been ravaged by nuclear waste.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah. So I mean, just thinking out loud, it does feel to me like this is the first time an island is introduced as a positive place.
Yes, so absolutely. When they get to this outpost, and again, that's lots of bright colors, one of the two dudes flips open a hatch. He picks up a phone and he calls in a report to someone he describes as alternatingly the old man or the professor.
The professor.
And he's giving figures like the temperature, battery usage, and silver iodide levels. And we can also glean that these two rank and file dudes, they don't like the professor too much. They both gripe about him and the heat on the island.
Yeah.
They then hear a strange kind of chirp or shriek or something in between. They hold up their rifle and they say, "That thing's out again." Yeah. We don't see what it is at this point, but we can conclude that it didn't see them and it heads off, and they mutter to themselves, "Humans don't belong here."
Right. So this was the kind of thing I was alluding to. Is I feel like there's a couple situations where this movie, I don't know if it's contradicting itself somewhat, but you, like I said, you get the stormy plane Godzilla moment, and then you have this really breezy tropical paradise music. But the first thing you learn about through these people is it's uncomfortably hot.
Yep.
They have a boss they don't particularly like, and there seems to be monsters in the woods that make it inhospitable for humans. So it's just odd how they kind of introduce the island in this fun way, and then the first things you learn about it is you don't want to be there. And
yeah, it's like tonal whiplash a little bit.
Yeah.
We then cut to what we can assume is their home base, and that is another very bright place indeed. I don't know who okayed these building designs, but we have a squat blue structure. We have a yellow and orange construction that looks vaguely like the Taj Mahal. It's got all these domes on it. We have a red and white striped candy cane looking shed. The sign above the entrance to this place reads Sherbet Operation in Solgau Island. I mean, the buildings look like they're made of sherbet, honestly.
I mean, Raymond, all you're doing is exposing yourself. You've clearly never been to some high-level science, institutes. I mean, you come to England, you'll see Oxford University looks exactly the same.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I just need to get out more, I guess. This is all underneath a United Nation-esque symbol and the letters WFPO. One of the scientists here mentions a connection to the UN Agriculture Commission.
So it's legit. They're not bad guys, because previously it was Red Bamboo, right?
Yes. Our last facility on an island was terrorists.
Yep.
We then find ourselves inside the blue HQ building where a slightly older man, maybe in his 50s, is assigning tasks to two more khaki-wearing scientists. So this is our professor. One of these two is played by Toho regular Akihiko Harada. Great to see him back.
Yeah, without the...
No eye patch.
No eye patch. So you're absolutely spot on to say these khaki-wearing scientists. What makes the professor stand out amongst these khaki-wearing scientists? There's one prop he has.
He has a pipe, right?
He has a pipe. So... These are
sucking on that pipe.
Yeah, right.
Stem.
And I guess maybe his hair is gray as well. I can't recall, but
it's a little gray.
Yep. So he's the elder. He's the leader. He has a pipe. He's got gray hair. Everyone else looks the same, and that's really important because when we meet our next two characters, is they are presented wildly different. It's very on the nose.
I would say we have 4 human characters of note, and then we have a collection of extras that, and arguably one of these has something to do, but
they're very little. Yeah,
they are all kind of done dirty by the script. Yeah. So anyway, these two fellas who are working, they're also grumbling about the world famous Professor Kusumi and about being worked to the bone.
So world famous, like he's the best of the best.
Yeah. We do learn from this conversation that the scientists are having that they are wishing aloud for beer. One of them compares working here to being in a concentration camp. Yikes.
Yeah. Jeez, buddy.
And we ascertain that their experiment, whatever it is almost over, but then a sudden radio interference jams up their equipment. They say, not again, and scramble to find out where it's coming from, but they can do little more than determine a direction at this time.
Right.
They then notice a blip heading their way on the radar and run outside where they see a low-flying plane heading toward them.
All right, so Raymond, what you were about to describe is fucking wild. Well, please carry on.
It sure is. The plane expels 2 brightly colored parachutes. I thought this was 2 people. It is not.
Okay, same. But it is a toy. It is a toy with a parachute. It's a fantastic scene.
Oh, yeah. These 2 brightly colored parachutes are scientists. They come running over to see what's falling out. When they get there, they meet a very smiley man.
Yep.
Wearing a red cap and a vivid yellow jumpsuit.
I have notes, and I have the word vivid all over the place.
Oh, yeah. He says, thanks for coming to get me. My bags are over there with the other parachute, so please grab those. And This is our main character. His name is Goro. He's played by Akira Kubo, who we might recognize as Tetsuo from Invasion of Astro Monster, the inventor. And he here is a reporter from the mainland. I don't know if he was sent here or if he just came. He kind of implies that he just came here.
So let's figure this out, Raymond. Let's figure this out.
Please.
So when I first saw that plane and then saw the parachutes, I thought exactly like you. There's two people have parachuted out of there. I assumed it was the plane from the very beginning of the movie.
Me too. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because that would make sense, right? Like the connections there.
It's the only other plane we've seen.
Precisely. And why would you parachute out of a plane unless it was likely to crash and what it went through, right? But no. Apparently, this is how freelance journalists show up. Like, apropos of nothing. Like, this is the James Bond of freelance journalists. Like, I'm pretty sure freelance journalists in 2025, 2026, they just blog or they Substack. But back in 1967, Japan, they would just parachute onto an island, apropos of nothing, wearing incredibly vivid clothes and being quite cocksure of themselves. So don't get me wrong, like I wasn't upset.
The balls on this chap.
Yeah, I wasn't upset, but it did lead to more questions. But it did, again, going back to the message I sent you, was like, I bet this has a tropical island and a journalist. And lo and behold, here they were. Away. That was pretty brilliant.
Straight out of the gate. So we can assume that, I guess, Professor Kasumi, whatever he's getting into, is
worthy of news.
I don't know, known about in some way on the mainland. And
by one very plucky freelance journalist called Goro.
We next cut to a plastic table set up on the sand in the middle of the researchers' facility where Goro is standing or sitting on one side and all the other researchers are gathered together on the other.
Like a minor interrogation. He
slides his business card across to the professor and his other gathered employees, and the professor says, no, we don't need you here. Please go home. Goro then childishly plops down in a chair, crosses his arms, and pouts, I'm not leaving without a story. Yeah. It's a very juvenile...
That's how you do it. That's how freelance journalists work. They parachute at planes and then they act like children.
Yeah, this man's method is off the wall. Like... Oh my God. It's it's juvenile, it's goofy.
Daredevilish as well.
Also, I knew I should be annoyed by this. Like the logical part of my brain was like,
we're supposed to not like
I should not like this character. Yeah. But I found it kind of endearing. And we are also very clearly back in the land of caricature.
Yep.
Like we're talking Mr. Taco from Kong vs. Godzilla. That's where we are.
Yeah, and to go back to the point you made earlier about the khaki-wearing scientists, the journalist Goro definitely does not wear khaki. He wears vibrant reds.
The brightest.
Like Hawaiian shirts. We're supposed to know that he's the goofy one and these are the kind of normies. But yeah, what a cast we're building up. It's, again, not to denigrate the fella, not upset to see, was it Akira Takarada?
The guy playing
the lead actor from every other movie we've watched before this.
Oh, I see. You thought it was
I'm just
good
glad
to give him a break?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you know what? Do you know what? He's not having a break because he's in King Kong Escapes. Oh, because that's what's being filmed at the same time, right?
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Okay, so we then cut to nighttime, where we see that Goro is still sitting in the same place, still defiantly waiting and refusing to leave.
I mean, how is he supposed to leave?
True. He was...
It's a hell of a gambit, right? There's not much you can do. You can either let me fester or let me help.
Right. He hasn't even changed out of his yellow jumpsuit. He still has an inflated life preserver around his neck from parachuting down. The scientists have put food in front of him, but he is also defiantly not eating. However, we do see him eyeing it hungrily at this particular moment. Just as he's about to sneak a bite of food, the professor and Harada's character come out. I should just say Akiko Harada's character is basically number 2.
Oh, yeah. He's like the lieutenant. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So as they come out, Goro notices and immediately stops himself from taking some of the food, going back to being obstinate. They say they don't need any PR, but Goro tells them that that's not why he's here. He's only following his stomach, which apparently leads him to all his stories.
Yes, would love to see that resume.
What is...
Where else has he been? Yeah.
Harada makes the very generous pitch of putting him to work on small menial chores, and when Goro balks at that, they say he can always swim back to the mainland.
Called his bluff.
So just like that, he's taken on by the team. I wish getting a job was that easy these days, man. Like,
Sure,
you
just
can
parachute
just
in.
assert yourself into a position.
I would easy.
Or parachute in.
Yeah.
So then we hear that same strange screech from earlier in the film, and all the scientists come running out, where we see two large orange globes floating through the trees.
Yeah. Quite high up.
Goro snaps a picture. He's got a little camera.
Always looking for a story.
Yeah, he snaps a picture. One of the scientists gives the very helpful explanation. It's a giant praying mantis.
Yeah.
This thing is exactly that. It's probably a man size, would you say? Like 6 feet? Sam size?
Sam size, yeah, maybe. A little, just a bit more than 6 feet.
Yeah, it's not quite a kaiju. That should be noted.
Oh, shucks.
But it is a man-sized praying mantis. Right. One of them fires a few useless shots at it with a rifle, but it just kind of turns away and wanders off. And the professor gives it a very lingery stare as well as it goes.
They're quite frivolous with their ammunition. I overthink something sometimes.
Gosh, yes.
I'm just like, how many bullets do you guys have? Because boy, howdy.
I know. They're just popping off all over the place.
Yeah, and I think that's the other prop, because you have you have the professor who has his pipe, but you'll notice that the rifle is the
someone
other
is
prop.
always holding a rifle.
Yeah, someone is always, like, there's one scientist who, these are battle wizards, these guys.
So the next day, Goro's doing some kitchen tasks in the mess area of camp, and he's questioning the field scientists who have just returned from an island jaunt about whether they've found the giant mantis, which they shrug off, telling him just worry about the food. One of them even says, and I love this line, "Stupid idiot, there's nothing interesting about this island." Goro, he does some more clumsy digging, and he finds out that they've been here for about 3 months. We simultaneously find out that Goro has been rinsing their lettuce in the same tub that the scientists used to wash their skivvies. So that's fun.
Yeah, that was a charming moment.
Yeah.
That was pretty humorous. It made me chuckle.
He's stumbling around in the kitchen. He's a very lovable, clumsy fellow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe one of the easiest protagonists, main protagonists to like.
I think that's fair.
Let's see. Goro is then tasked with picking some fresh Solgel spinach out in the jungle.
Okay, came up as parsley on my subtitles. Yeah.
But regardless of what he's picking, he heads out. He heads out alone. He is armed with a rifle, and this time it's scored by some more era-specific sitcom music.
Yeah, it's very upbeat again.
He's off wandering around, and what does he discover, Sam? It's not just spinach or parsley, is it? It's a pretty lady having a swim.
Yes, absolutely. Slightly darker skin tone than everyone else. And she is pretty.
She is pretty. Very pretty.
Yeah, very pretty.
And this is a freshly spray-tanned Babari Maida, and she seems very happy in this scene. She's just doing laps in a pond, smiling to herself. So Goro has himself a pervy little look, and then he fishes for his camera to take her picture without her permission, which is naturally what one does when they come across a pretty lady having a swim.
When you're looking for a story.
Yeah. I had to look around online to try and find out, because these cameras are so interesting to me. They're they're like little pocket size. It's about the size of an external USB.
Is it a Fujitsu or something?
Yeah, I think so. And I think they're called pocket cameras. Yeah. Anyone who's versed in
history of cameras.
Photography and cameras, they would.
Oh, for sure.
They'd be able to tell us.
Yeah. There must be some pretty cool gadgets coming out of Japan at that time.
Oh my gosh, I know.
This is definitely the post-war reconstruction boom. Yeah, precisely. This is a good time in some regards, right, for Japan. Yeah, right on.
Yeah, so as he's reaching for that camera, she notices him, gasps, and goes underwater. And then she disappears.
Right.
We do not see where she goes. We don't see her come up out of the water again. That night at dinner, with all the scientists gathered around the table, Professor Kasumi declares that tomorrow's weather will be just right for their experiment, which we can assume is something related to the weather. Goro asks he just outright asks, "Are you guys trying to freeze the island?" And he's given the cold shoulder in response. Goro asks, "What about the native girl?" And everyone immediately accuses him of being crazy and seeing things, etc.
Yeah, it's an odd power trip that goes on. It's like you're allowed to accuse someone of something, but you can't say, no, I did. He had to give up the argument straight away.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you can Goro, you can push back and be like, no, I did. He's put in his place. Yeah.
They say the island is deserted. That's that.
Yeah.
Also silly that he sees someone his first day out in the jungle and they've been here for ages.
The man's stomach leads him to a store.
That's true. I didn't take the stomach into account. One of the scientists also has...
That's actually the Lebanese title for this movie.
So one of the scientists here, he has a bit of a hissy fit and a storm off where he tells Goro he just wants to go home, so stop interfering.
We have a moody scientist, don't we?
He's a moody man.
He's an emotional...
This is not the first storm off.
No.
So put a pin in that also, along with the radio disturbances.
Yeah, the interference.
We then learn a bit more about their experiment. So citing imminent overpopulation, the professor explains that to utilize the world's less hospitable biomes, think tundra and deserts and so on, he hopes to manufacture a way to control the weather, making it easier to grow food and thus eliminating famine.
So this is like... Let's talk about this, because to me, this is the whole, I guess we can say Toho now, moralizing, but also man against nature. Like the man against nature thing.
Yep.
But I think they genuinely think this is a good idea, that they can change the climates of these areas. And I think they think it's a good idea because of the way the movie ends.
Right.
So what this scientist is saying, and again, remember, this is not the red bamboo, this is WHFO, whatever they're called. This is the UN, basically. And he's saying we're going to change the Sahara Desert, Siberia, maybe Antarctica. And then he also mentions the rainforests of South America because the planet's being overpopulated, which is an interesting narrative. Maybe that's what people thought in the 60s. I can't imagine how they feel now.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's essentially describing the beginnings of terraforming.
Yeah, exactly, terraforming. And it's... They're presenting it in a really positive light. It's like, we need to do this, and it's good that we do this because we make more food and we feed more people. But it seems awfully in bad taste. I mean, if you think what's happened to the Brazilian rainforest when it comes to like the deforestation and for the beef industry, it's just like, that's a terrible thing. That's a terrible thing. And it's because they think it's sincere, or it's presented sincerely in the movie. I mean, how much they actually invested in it probably is very little. But I'm like, it's a pretty tasteless, I mean, it's a really bad aspect of how men view the world.
Yes.
Because I think when you watch the end of the movie, I think they think it's a success, basically.
So they think it's a success, but I wouldn't completely chalk Toho up to being on that side, because the way in which we see the ending, there are two points of view.
Absolutely. I had both of them.
There are the scientists,
there's Goros, and there's Godzillas.
And there's Godzillas. Yeah. And I don't want to say what Godzilla's is at the moment, but I do think it's very different from that.
Yep.
But I do think, it's an absolute, the read.
It is.
From their point of view, the human's point of view is, that this is a necessary thing.
Yep.
But the short answer is... The short answer is yes, they are trying to freeze the island for their experiment.
Yes. You won't believe how short that answer is.
But it's also being kept secret because, according to the professor, this could be more dangerous than the A-bomb, this procedure. So D-Day for the experiment arrives. The scientists are scurrying around the facility and monitoring or fiddling with all the equipment and the machines.
It's a great montage of just random scientists doing random scientist stuff, but also you get to see the
machines beeping and booping.
Beeping and booping. I think I mentioned it a while ago with Tracy Island, where the Thunderbirds. Do you know the Thunderbirds? We talked about them.
I think we talked about it in one episode.
Yeah, but they had this island, which was basically a toy island, but you would see parts of it move, right? When the vehicles were going to come out. It's the same thing. They have these toy science facility dioramas which do move, and they do release balloons, but they're all toys. Yeah. It's if you're into dioramas and miniatures, you get a kick out of it for sure.
Heck yeah. It is, as you're saying, such a great little montage. Everyone's running around. Yeah. Goro's snapping pictures. We also get this fanciful and energetic music to kind of bounce us through. And within 2 minutes until the big freeze, Goro has disappeared. He's left headquarters. We catch up to him running across the island. He's sweating his buns off and he's yelling for the native girl he saw the day before.
He's trying to rescue her, right?
Run away, find safety. Yeah. The professor is undeterred by Goro's absence. He commences with the experiment anyway. He says, he'll come back when it gets cold.
Yeah. This man does not give up. I will talk about that later. But this scientist, he will just carry on. Single-minded, like, who was our man there for Ibira?
Yorimoto?
Our nice local lad.
I know who you mean.
Yeah. He's the professor is as single-minded as that guy.
For sure. So the experiment commences. We see a big yellow dome open up and a freezing unit is released. It's a little yellow box hanging from a weather balloon. It rises high into the air above Solgal Island. Some kind of fun shots there of watching it go up. And on the professor's command, it bursts in a little firework explosion, creates an updraft, which cools the island by pulling warm air up. We also see this cool wide shot of the whole island that shows twin yellow and red towers at different points. One's off in the distance, one's closer to camera. They look like stationary rocket ships a little bit. And they have little whirring devices at their tops that are releasing yellow gas. Yeah. So we have a lot of visual elements from the previous movie.
You are seeing them play with the sky, basically. These balloons and these gases being released.
Yeah.
And we're told the temperature's cooling rapidly.
The professor then orders the release of a second capsule, which apparently has something like a radioactive solar cell or something in it. But as they're trying to detonate this one, we get more of that radio interference coming from the center of the island, which stops them from detonating it, and a radioactive heat storm breaks out, which we hear the details of in a very random and maybe first for a Godzilla movie, I think, voiceover narration, which we discover is delivered by Harada's character.
Oh, wow. Is that the first time? Is it? Yeah. I know what you mean, but I didn't pick up on it being voiceover narration. That's a good point.
I think it's our first time, but I could be wrong there.
No, that's a good shout.
He's writing a lab report, as it turns out, and that's what we're hearing.
Right.
But we're also, like, while he's talking, we're seeing palm trees wilt and die. We see an intense rain, which we hear is quite hot. We see flooding. We see mudslides as the scientific facility gets totally trashed by all this adverse weather.
This is the folly of man, right? This is man playing with forces they shouldn't be playing
Exactly.
with. It's pretty on the nose, right? It's pretty big Godzilla themes, for sure. But we need to remember these are the good guys.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We do learn that 4 days later, the weather finally calms and the professor allows the scientists to go back outside. They're all shirtless and sweaty and offhandedly saying like, oh, thank goodness for that AC, hey boys?
Yeah.
Things like that. So some pretty clumsy writing just to let us know that, okay,
we survived. Yeah.
The men are sent out to assess the damage to the island and the equipment.
He's a hard taskmaster, this professor.
Dude, constant work.
But he's world greatest scientist or whatever, right?
So who are we to question his methods?
Precisely. Yeah.
So they're sent out to assess the damage. Goro's back at it. He's following the professor with his little camera. He's getting a lot of shots of the professor scowling.
That was a strange part. Like, how many of those photos do you need?
I know.
It's like the paparazzi watching a man go for a walk.
Goro points out the little pool where he saw the native girl earlier and the girl whom still no one believes he saw. We then hear another screech and see in the distance the giant praying mantis is now literally giant. It is kaiju-sized.
What's that? 1.5 Sams, 2 Sams, 3 Sams? What do I need to match up?
It's like 100 Sams now, dude.
Snap. I can't compete with that. Fair enough, then.
This thing is looking very cool and creepy as it crosses the screen.
It's going to get better, but it's very... There's a movie like the Roy Harryhausen one or something. It's like 1,000,000 BC or something like that. But it's...
So not Clash of the Titans?
Well, not Clash of the Titans,
Something like
but
that.
like an island from a time from long before. And it's the same with the octopus. There's certain animals that we find to be... Creepy, right? Yeah, and we're doing that with mantis. We're making them huge.
And it's quite effective. This kaiju, just so we don't get confused, it's called Kamacuras.
That's right.
I'll call them Kamacuras from now on.
Absolutely.
The professor explains that the radioactivity may have jump-started its cell's growth, and Goro snaps a few pictures of it before they hightail it up to a near observation tower. Oh, I also noted, referring to Kamacuras, this thing is gross, man. It's a very large puppet. It might even be a life-size puppet.
It's a puppet, right? And there's more than one of them, as we're going to find out. It's a pretty impressive feat because they move as you would tell yourself.
Expect a praying mantis too.
From what you know, from what you think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And we see like hairs. I hate bugs, but I loved seeing this thing in motion. So I totally get what the critics were saying about like the puppetry and stuff. Then, an even bigger surprise, Goro and the professor watch it meet up with two more giant mantises, Kamakurases. All of them are surrounding what looks like a little hill or like a dirt mound.
Yeah, dirt mound, yeah.
They start hacking at this mound with their scythes, digging into it until a giant yellow egg comes rolling out.
Yep.
So just as the kaiju action is heating up, we cut back to Scientist HQ later that night for kind of a boring little meeting discussing equipment repairs. Our grumpy scientist from earlier, he's loudly proclaiming that he's quitting.
He is done.
It's a bit of a scene, but Goro pipes up saying, as a full-fledged dirty job member, he thinks they should continue work here.
Yeah.
Harada's character also helpfully points out that the radio's down since the interference, and they can't call for help or anything. So tough luck. Like, even if you want to be done, we're all stuck here.
I think also just prior to this, when they come across the first giant mantis, Goro makes a big point of protecting the professor. He's always shielding him with his body and his rifle. And I think he's proving to the professor that he's not just a Johnny-come-lately freelance journalist extraordinaire. One of the boys.
He's earning his spot in camp.
Yeah.
Once this meeting adjourns, the professor says to Harada, I didn't know you're such a good actor.
Yeah, that's right.
The radio's actually fine. And I made a note here. That's kind of fucked up, right? That's really fucked up.
But here's the thing, and I'm going to make this point later. Nothing can get in the way of this mission. Or whatever this project is or experiment is, nothing, not even the safety of human beings, is allowed to get in the way of this experiment.
God, this professor is a monster.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to work
and
for this
Harada's helping him.
Yep.
All right, so anyway, we then cut to the next day, and the three mantises, now given the official kaiju name of Kamacuras by Goro in the film's narrative, clawing away at this egg and screeching loudly. Goro's nearby along with one of the scientists, and we also can see that the native girl is watching somewhere from the tree line as well. We get some really fun close-up shots of the three Kamacuras with their constantly active hairy mouths, mandibles inside of mandibles and all that, as they keep hacking and slashing, and surprise, surprise, we start seeing some cracks in the egg. Eventually, a round and wet little dude flops out, making sounds almost like a seal barking.
Okay, I wrote down donkey braying.
So I have alternated. Later on, I wrote donkey braying as well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Later on, he has a tantrum, and it's very much a donkey.
I want to pause here and say that I found this first iteration of Minila because this is a different. This is a puppet, and later on we have a costume. And this puppet I found it kind of disturbing in its presentation. It just flops around lifelessly on the ground.
It's kind of crawling but going nowhere. Like, it's helpless, it's vulnerable, it's making this very pitiful, pathetic noise.
And it's surrounded by these three giant mantises that are stabbing it.
It's a gruesome scene, but it's definitely not the introduction you want to make for a creature that I assume you're looking to win the hearts over of young ladies and young boys
in the theater. Yeah,
and sell, God knows how many toys, what have you. It's a pretty inauspicious introduction. I mean, it's kind of like seeing Neo when he comes out of the pod. You're like, all right.
That's a good connection. Yeah, man. Wow. Goro shouts, "It looks just like a baby Godzilla." And we'd be naturally worried for this vulnerable little buddy's life, right?
It's a pretty...
These three giant mantises looming over it. But the music is so discordant with that. It's really happy and jaunty that there's not one iota of tension here.
Absolutely no. And we pretty much know exactly what's about to happen.
Yeah, right. And also the puppet rolls over. So we see that, it is okay.
How can you describe that face? The face is oddly rounded.
It's so lumpy, dude. It's
lumpy and rounded, which is supposed to be, I mean, you think of the
potato-esque.
Yeah. I mean, you think of the Cabbage Patch Kids, right?
Yeah.
That's just a round face. I guess they thought was cute.
It does look like it's something that could be growing in your garden. Yes.
Yeah, they're going cute. This is not goggly-eyed, slack jaw, screaming, lumpy Godzilla. This is rounded, unthreatening, hopelessly naive Godzilla.
Yeah, it is a proto-chibi version of Godzilla, I guess. But he's here.
Yeah.
Minilla.
Right, welcome to the main stage.
Praise be.
Anytime the world changes every moment a baby is born. And the world changed as soon as, Minilla showed up. Like, okay, so now we live in this reality where we must take care of Minilla. Like, we all felt those paternal instincts kicking in where, all right, we have to keep this one alive.
Oh, yes. So back at Science HQ, the one grumpy guy, he has gone full cabin fever, and he's
Grumpzilla.
He's chasing the other scientists around the grounds with a rifle.
He's manic. Yeah, this guy's had a full-on breakdown.
Dude, if this movie...
Feel bad for this guy.
I feel bad for him, and also, if this movie weren't so brightly colored and lit, this would be like a dark scene.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you were watching a man fall to pieces.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's the crappy thing about this character is he's generally having a breakdown, but they're using him as it's not the comic relief, but it's definitely we're better than this. We can get through this, and we need you to be the contrast.
Sure, and he's very much like the D plot of the movie. And yes, I think he represents all of the other researchers.
He represents weakness of man at that point, right?
So Harada bursts out of the building and yells at Mr. Crazy, who sort of realizes what he's doing and runs off to the beach. Harada follows, and when they arrive there, they're both stopped in their tracks when they see a massive surge of water heading straight for them. And out of that surge...
It's a bear!
Out of that surge rears up Godzilla, looking wetter and more cockeyed than we've ever seen him before.
Yeah. I don't know if there's ever been a time when Godzilla was truly terrifying. He's always had a bit of...
A little bit.
Oh, no. The first movie when he first shows up over the horizon, he's not terrifying. When he walks to Tokyo, yeah. But but I think quickly they go to that. What's that kind of movie making style called, where it's like two filmed footages in front of each other?
Composite images, I think.
Yeah, I think they pretty quickly go to a composite of Godzilla approaching the island, and it's the biggest he's looked in a long time. I think he's been shortened by this kind of matching scales that he's been placed up with in other movies. But he feels like he's massive again.
Yeah, and this might be a Fukuda and Arikawa. I think this might be more of their work together, but scale, again, is pretty well communicated.
Yeah. Certainly at this moment, I think it's going to be reduced again.
Yeah, that's true. So the two researchers look up, they see Godzilla. They then scurry back to base where they let everyone know, and they all go running together into a nearby cave. But as they do so, we're treated to some great, as you said, a great composite shot of Godzilla stomping along after them, looming large over the frame. Godzilla flattens their base pretty quickly.
Yep.
I can see they saved big money on miniatures this time around because there are so few.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, and destruction's not much.
There's only like 3 buildings in the movie.
It's not scraping the barrel, but they're paying the minimalist amount of homage to that part of this genre, franchise.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And even with 3 buildings, Godzilla promptly squashes 2 of them.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Let's see. Then Godzilla hears his baby boy keening for help.
We assume, like, it must be his baby boy. But there were questions, right?
Well,
so many questions.
Well, yes, and I can say, I don't think this is a spoiler, but I think in official Toho canon,
he's the father?
No, he's not the father. In official Toho canon.
Get him a Maury.
This is an adoption. So yeah.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. What a heart Godzilla has.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't think we ever learned that in any of the movies. I think
This is the concept of, like, every cartoon, the children were always nephews or nieces rather than... Because, you know, like Scrooge McDuck, it was always the nephews,
yeah.
right?
Right. Yep.
Rather than direct, like, children or what have you. Yeah, okay. So plausible deniability. All right.
Sure. All right, so Godzilla swoops in as one of the scientists comments to Goro that the radio interference we've been hearing throughout the movie was the baby calling for his father. We have a bit of a stare down with one of the mantises putting a foot possessively on Minilla before another one leaps at Godzilla, who grabs him, spins him, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this because you're the wrestling expert.
No, thank you.
He gives him a pile driver.
Oh, it's
right?
not quite a pile driver. It's a body. It's a body slam.
Okay. A body slam.
But 100% I wrote Godzilla is a wrestler now. And I think he's alluded to various martial arts. He's definitely been a pugilist. He's been a boxer in the past.
He's done sumo.
He's done sumo. Yeah, jeez Louise. Yeah, absolutely. This came across as like a wrestling move. And I think that was on purpose, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. This first Kamacuras crumples into a heap.
Yep.
Minilla rises to his knees, which almost distracts the G-Man, but he's quick on his toes enough to catch the second Kamacuras, who takes a leap at him with his atomic breath, sending this thing down
badass.
in a ball of flames.
And like it genuinely is. You get to see it fly across the scheme of fire on fire and crash land.
Yeah, man.
That was honestly, when I saw that, I was like, we haven't seen anything like that before.
It's a very cool moment. A flying giant mantis as a comet sailing across the screen. Very cool. All practically done.
And it's just about to get better because I think what happens next is pretty sensational.
Yeah, we even see one of its flaming scythe arms go sailing off.
That's badass. That's the thing I'm talking about. When you see the claw on fire, that was cool.
Flying past into the jungle as Goro and one of the researchers run past as they're escaping. We also notice what looks like spider webs in the trees at this point. Cue ominous music as Goro runs past them.
Yeah.
We then see more evolution of the boulder play that's almost become a hallmark of this series.
This is what I was looking forward to.
Yeah, so one of the Kamacuras blocks a boulder that Zilla's kicked over. He dribbles it between its claws like it's a hockey puck, and then he...
Oh, see, okay, so it's interesting, the sporting analogies, because I think we've seen tennis.
Yeah, or volleyball, perhaps.
Yeah, or volleyball, yeah. This felt like basketball to me.
Basketball, okay.
Yeah, because he's like...
I think I'm seeing the scythe arms as hockey sticks.
As hockey, absolutely. No idea. 100%. But regardless, it is a sporting move this mantis is using. Oh, sorry, Kamacuras. And where is that going to land up? Where's that boulder going to land up?
He gives it a dribble, and he gives it a good, clean slap shot up at Manila's face, knocking
right in
him
the face.
over.
So baby Godzilla Manila just takes this boulder to the face. And again, it's a very hopelessly naive, like hollow-minded face. It's pretty hilarious. It's good comedy.
I wrote the word. I wrote the word hilarious. One word sentence. Full stop.
And then does the baby, the puppet, it's a puppet, I think, at this point, just start crawling, like going nowhere as Godzilla kind of walks away?
Well, so I wrote down Godzilla bends down to get to Minilla for a second, but the two remaining Kamacuras kind of rush him when that happens. So Zilla gets the upper hand on one of them and has another mantis roast while Minilla cutely barks in approval. The third and last Kamacuras
gets away, right?
Yeah, stands and then flies off in a fun shot where we see its wings kind of like flapping like sails.
Yeah. It's the smarter of the other Kamacuras.
Yeah, the lone survivor. Godzilla turns to look down at Minilla, I guess with disapproval, maybe. And as he does so, he gives the little dude a knock with his tail, and then he heads off toward the jungle, just leaving it. And here, this is where Manila starts crawling and whimpering behind him.
Okay, yeah. So it's kind of odd because we understand from the name of the movie and the kind of somewhat protectionist nature is that Godzilla's taking care of its baby. But at this point, you'd just be like, no, I just like hit it and then walked away. Godzilla's walking so swiftly that the baby can't catch it. So it's hard to kind of pick up on, is Godzilla really trying to take care of this baby or not?
Yeah, he has just abandoned Manila.
Yeah, like he's walking off, and yeah, there's no way, because you can watch this pathetic puppet try and crawl. It does not, pretty sure it makes no move. Like it moves its arms and legs, but it doesn't actually.
Yeah, it's very seal-like still. It can't stand or walk yet.
Yeah.
So it just kind of rotates on its belly. And as he rotates, though, he sees the native girl. She emerges from the trees and she's watching him.
Oh yeah, the fruit.
She visually on screen does a duck call, like with
like
her
the hands to the mouth kind of whistles. Yeah,
but the sound that comes out is not the sound of a duck call. It's like a echoey Mothra Island kind of noise, or Infant Island kind of noise.
Yes.
It seems to calm Manila down and at least hold its attention. And the native islander girl, she lures him over with a yellow fruit that she tosses into his mouth. It's a very silly looking effect.
Yeah, hilarious.
Yes.
Yes. So the fruit, if you were to put it next to a regular human, be about the size of your head, if not bigger.
Yeah, man, it's like a coconut or a pineapple.
Yeah, like a large coconut. Yeah, the way she throws it.
Round fruit.
Yeah, but when they throw it, they use some kind of special effects, and it just looks like this yellow dot that travels into Manila's mouth.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna learn about this lady, but we're very quickly being shown. Look at this human that's entwined with nature and how it can control the beast. Like, this is good. This is good human stuff. Humans should be in nature.
Yeah.
But it's going to ask some questions as we learn more about this lady. But how did she learn these skills? How did she know this about Manila?
Yeah.
Right? Because there is no precursor to this.
No
and when we learn her backstory, it's hard to understand how or why she has these instincts and skills.
Yeah. I think we can maybe assume some things. Maybe we can even assume that there have been other baby Godzillas on this island.
It's not a novel thought, because when you watch the first Godzilla, you are left with no shadow of a doubt that Godzilla is dead.
Yeah.
Like, you see the bones, right? And then obviously when Kobayashi sacrifices his life for humanity, we must understand that another Godzilla is around, right? So we totally understand that
we know that there are at least 3 members of the species.
Precisely, and they show up sporadically, So that concept's, I mean, like, if you're watching the movies with a friend closely and analyze them deeply, this makes total sense.
Yeah, which everyone does, right? Everyone should be doing that.
Absolutely, everything makes total sense in the world of,
She says as she tosses the yellow fruit that if he eats it, he'll get big and strong. We then hear Papa Godzilla roar, and Dad's back. The girl sneaks off as Godzilla presents his tail to Manila, and Manila hops on for a ride in what is a pretty sweet sort of visual.
Yeah.
Hops on Godzilla's tail and sort of just rides it away.
Yeah, there's an infatuation between Manila and Godzilla's tail.
Yeah.
And like the idea, it sounds really sweet, but again, when you see the puppet get onto the tail, it's very cumbersome and slimy, and like you wouldn't want that thing touching you. That's all I'm saying. So it's like as sweet of an idea as it is, when you actually see it, like, that's pretty.
Yeah, I take it back. It's not sweet. It's gross. Gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, we follow the girl as she enters a cave, seeing more spider webs strewn across the trees in this area, I should add. She enters this cave where she finds Goro lying prone on the ground with no explanation as to how he got here, other than he's covered in dirt, so we can maybe assume he tripped and fell down a spiral stone staircase to land in the middle of this room, which is her home.
Is it that by the way, the experiment happened and he was caught out and then somehow found this cave?
No, we've seen him since the experiment happened.
Oh, we have seen him. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just being stupid.
He's been around, man.
Then there is no explanation, because you're right.
There's no explanation.
He's just on the ground, kind of like he's been knocked out, and then he comes to, obviously. Yeah.
Regardless of how he got here, this is Toho logic. He's here.
Yeah.
And just to describe her house a little bit, because that's what this is, she's got a little wooden chair. There's a few simple items around, a table, and he gets up in a daze. And as he does so, she throws a dagger at him, sort of stopping him in his tracks.
So that kind of like, not to be crude, but that wild, savage energy here.
Yep. No, it's working that archetype for sure.
Yeah.
She accuses him of being a robber. She's come to steal a special book that she has in her possession. And he flips this back on her, saying she's the robber. And he points to the fact that she has a floral pink Hawaiian shirt here, a red shirt that I guess she has stolen from him somehow.
When he was doing his laundry. Do they, because we've done this before, do they talk about the fact that they both understand Japanese? Because we did that with Ibira, right? Being like, oh, hey, you guys understand me. Do they do that in this?
Maybe they do it very briefly, but
it'll get answered.
I can't remember either.
It'll get answered later on, but anyhow. But no, they're chatting quite comfortably with one another.
Right.
Accusing each other of the same crime.
Maybe her speech is a little stunted because, at least in my
she's very
titles.
Sweet. Yeah.
Oh, well, in my subtitle she says, boy not wear a red shirt unless you a girl. So I'm guessing...
Yeah. No, that's right. That happens in mine as well. And I think, Raymond, this is the time to talk about it. What does she say?
Boy not wear a red... Okay, there are a lot of things wrong with this sentence, first of all. But
boy
not wear a red shirt unless you a girl.
Right. So there's that really... That's a statement.
So there's stereotypes.
There is one female character in this movie.
Yep.
It is her. And Godzilla is a single dad raising a boy. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong. You could be like, do you know what, Sam? It's the mid to late 60s Japan, and they're just selling a baby movie. They're just looking for profit in all the right ways. But do you remember some of the badass female characters we had in the Godzilla franchise?
Thank you. We've at least, I don't know if we've had
a few.
We've had a few.
Mothra.
I think one was named Nauta or something. Naoko, maybe.
The journalist, yep. And then with Ghidorah, you had...
Princess Mas.
Oh, yeah, we had the Venusian. Yeah, and we had the Venusian.
Yep.
And then Miss Namikawa.
I
remember. Namikawa, yeah. I think in King Kong, it's very much the archetypal, like, beautiful lady that King Kong's after. But there have been moments in this franchise where the female protagonists have been the best part of it. And in the last two movies, they've been absolutely decimated.
Yeah.
And put into a very obvious box.
For sure.
Of island girl in island garb.
Yep. So they're...
And pretty.
Yep. So there is that. And also, when analyzing this sentence, we can kind of assume that she's speaking in a way that this is like a simplified and stilted, in quotes, native way of speaking, or perhaps just...
Oh, sure.
Perhaps just someone who learned Japanese a long time ago and is out of practice because she's been alone on an island for so long.
No. But... So they're going to have this argument, aren't they, about who's the thief, and they come to terms pretty swiftly.
Yeah, they clear it up very quickly. And in that, she reveals that her name is Psycho.
Psycho, that's right.
And they clear things up. Yep. Goro says he's a part of the research team on the island. She gives him his shirt back. He then puts it on her shoulders. Ooh. And that elicits a big, radiant smile. And when he asks why she's alone here, she hands him the book, which makes his eyes go wide. But we cut away to a different scene.
So also worth pointing out here that, again, of all the characters we have here that are human, it is only Psycho and Goro that have color on them.
Yes.
Everyone else is khaki. Mm-hmm. They have red Hawaiian shirts or sarongs. That being said, I don't want to jump the gun here, but at this point, Psycho has worn the same kind of native sarongy outfits that you would see on any kind of island presentation. But as soon as she joins up with the science group, all of a sudden she's wearing pants, trousers, slacks, whatever you call them, and a shirt.
Yeah.
She instantly kind of...
Assimilates,
precisely, yeah.
Yeah.
But still with a colorful shirt.
Yep, that's a good point. We cut back to headquarters where Goro brings Psycho to meet the boys. She walks out awkwardly, and they present the book to the professor, saying that Psycho's father was an archaeologist who lived on Solgal Island. The professor acknowledges this in a very convenient for the plot kind of way, saying he's heard of a scientist who stayed behind on these islands after World War II. Yeah. And we do learn through this exposition dump that Both her archaeologist father and her mother are long dead, and she essentially grew up on this island alone.
Bless.
This also gets disrupted when one of the Kamakuras pops its big ugly mug out of the jungle.
Right. And this base has already been torn up by Godzilla, so they are literally,
They have nothing.
They're in ruins, and then this huge Kamakura shows up.
Yep.
And this speaks to the fact that they have more ammunition than we understand.
Oh, for sure.
Because they just...
Everybody panics, and they take some more, useless shots at it with their rifles, drawing its attention back into the jungle.
That was pretty clever.
Yeah. The scientists then decide that it's too dangerous to stay at base, so Goro very helpfully and presumptively volunteers Psycho's cave to be their new headquarters.
Raymond, what is yours is mine. Come on. This is how men work.
There's without any consultation whatsoever with her, and they all agree to this, and they head there.
I mean, the sole female character.
Yeah. So we can crash at your place, right? It's fine if
well,
I stay there with all my friends and my boss.
No. Right. So the wrong part of that is when you say your place. It's their place now.
Sure. So we then cut to a kind of pool of red water. I would have said lava, but we do learn later on in the story that this is just red water.
So here's the thing. Let's go back to the fruit, the yellow fruit. I mean, again, if you're watching these movies in a pattern with a good friend of yours and talking about them, what I know about yellow fruit is that they poison a bearer, but baby Godzilla's thrive off them. And if you're a red fruit, you put King Kong to sleep.
Right.
And then we'll learn more about what it does to humans later, right?
Yeah.
But am I the only one paying attention, Raymond?
That's a fair point. I would counter that only by saying this is different yellow fruit on a different island, and
yeah, that's true.
And any argument otherwise is futile.
I can see the holes in my argument. Like, why couldn't a baby Godzilla be nourished off what poisons a giant lobster? They are not the same being, right?
No.
So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think, no, you're right. I'm overthinking it, maybe.
So we then, while we're here, we see a little baby boulder come rolling out of the jungle toward this pool of red water, closely followed by a more upright and stable Minilla. He's cooing and enjoying his kaiju-sized game of kick the can.
Yes.
Godzilla's nearby. He's lying on his side and having a snooze.
Let me tell you, this is not the first time we're going to see Godzilla having a nap.
Yep.
Do you not think it speaks to the fact that there's going to be dads watching this movie and being like, yeah, that's exactly what it's like to raise a kid. Like you are tired the whole time and you just want to sleep.
Yeah, man.
But he's definitely sleeping a lot in this movie, and I think that's on purpose. I think they're trying to reach out to parents being like, we know what it's like to raise children. You just want to sleep the whole time and you can't.
Yeah. Right. He's trying. He's on his side like a single father might be lying on his side on a sofa.
Just trying to catch a few C's, right?
Yeah. And as he's doing so, his tail is idly swinging back and forth. Minilla sees this and becomes fixated, very much like a puppy. I was constantly reminded of my own very young dog while watching this.
Special guest in this one, by the way.
If he survives the edit, yes. So Minilla runs over and tries to make a little jumping game out of avoiding his father's tail, giving little seal squeaks and falling over every once in a while, waking his father, who gives a half-lidded stare and then plops back down. Mm-hmm. We cut to a very cheesy romantic scene of Psycho and Goro running along the beach, having a race. Psycho wins, of course, and then he tells her about the big concrete jungle of Tokyo. And that he intends to take her there, which makes her very happy indeed.
Yeah, she kind of squeals with the knowledge of Tokyo.
Yeah, she gives him a hug. She's so happy with the idea of going there. I mean, we're back to Chased Toho after Invasion of Astro Monster.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No more implied kisses or sex scenes.
Correct. So Minilla then pops his head up over the horizon. This is very reminiscent of the first Godzilla film.
Yes.
And when Goro gets ready to flee, shouting, "It's Godzilla!"
Sensible reaction.
Yeah, sensible reaction. Psycho calms him and says, I mean, can you imagine seeing that big, lumpy face looking down at you over a mountain?
Screaming like a donkey.
Let's see. Psycho says she's met him before. It's just a baby. She's already friends with it. She shows off her Godzilla call and feeds Manila another fruit. These fruit just always happen to be growing in a tree that's right next to her.
All right, so let's dissect this. We understand who Psycho is. Psycho. Let's call her Psycho. She is unfortunately an orphan of this island.
Yep.
How old do we think she was when she was orphaned?
She's very young, but I don't know other than that. Maybe 10, 5, 10.
Okay, let's say 8. And from a Japanese father, and then stuck on this island, surrounded by Kamikuras and another beast we're going to meet up with. She has never met baby Godzilla until Manila shows up.
Right.
She's never met Godzilla, right? How does she have this knowledge? How does she have these skills?
So we did talk about this before, and my theory is that there were
But now we have the context of
sure.
who she is.
My theory is that if there's an egg on this island, that means there were other members of the species on this island at some point. So
You think so?
perhaps either...
Do you think she's been harvesting baby Godzillas?
Not her herself, but her dad was here, and her dad has some important book with a lot of stuff written about the island in it. So I would want to assume that she grew up with some working knowledge of the island and its inhabitants. She at least knows about the other kaiju that we're going to meet later.
We will get to. Yeah, absolutely. And I get
So maybe she has some experience with Godzilla. Maybe she's a Godzilla whisperer.
that's clearly what she is. I just am failing to understand how she got that. But again, thinking about it too much. That's fine. I know I am. But I can't see any reason why she is so good with baby Godzilla. Other than she's trying to be the whole, man and nature together are beautiful. That's clearly what she is, right?
Well, there's...
Because you have man versus nature with, we're just going to destroy the world.
Well, there's that, and also in a movie about parentage, why not make the one female character a mother as well?
Right.
Or give her maternal...
Absolutely. That's a terrific point I didn't pick up on.
Oh, I'm only saying it out loud, or I'm only getting it as I say it out loud, so who knows?
It's the beauty of the
of
the Godzilla movies.
Very, very close dissection. Yeah.
So many layers to this movie.
Okay, so she's explaining that she already knows Manila and that it's all good, but Dad soon comes stomping over to ruin the fun again. And Goro and Psycho then run off when they see real Godzilla. And
naturally,
Papa Godzilla gives his son a good scolding for, I guess, associating with humans or wandering off or something. It's hard to tell because it's all done through grunts and gestures, but
yes.
Manila flops on its back in response and throws a very human-like tantrum.
Yeah, so this is when perhaps they sound like a donkey.
Yes.
I think it's fair to say that Godzilla knows how to pump his arms.
Yep.
And Manila knows how to rub his belly. There's a lot of belly rubby going on, and everything else has to be expressed through just screeches and
and Godzilla is here a patient parent and kind of just drags Manila off by his tail back into the jungle.
Yeah, absolutely. Never gives up.
No. So we then cut back to the cave. Several of the scientists are sweating and dazed. They are collapsed on the ground.
Oh, here we go again, yeah.
We learn that they've come down with an unnamed tropical disease and that, according to Harada, they're out of medicine.
Island fever, baby.
Oh, yes. Seiko, who's now wearing Goro's red Hawaiian shirt, says she knows what'll fix everyone up. Red hot water is how she describes it. The only catch is that this is currently where Godzilla and Manila are hanging out. And on the way is also this giant spider kaiju who you haven't met yet, named Kumonga.
And we haven't met yet.
Yes. We've seen some spider webbing, but we haven't seen Kumonga itself. It is currently asleep, but if someone goes out there, it might wake up and wreak havoc.
So foreshadowing. But Peter Jackson's watched this movie, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he must have,
Big
right?
time.
Seiko and Goro volunteer to go fetch some of the water they need, armed only with a rifle and the knowledge that fire is the only way to break the Kumonga's webs.
And that comes from the book? Is that where that comes from?
Yes, that.
Where does that?
Yeah. It's from
that knowledge.
The archaeologist, or Seiko's father's book.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I must admit, when I saw them leave, they will show up with drinking vessels. But I was like, why are you not taking a water pot?
Yeah, they don't. We don't see them carrying anything except a rifle.
sure.
as they go.
Like a thin shirt and a rifle.
Yeah, man.
And we've just heard about this spider that we're definitely going to meet, and this red water.
Right.
Yeah. And Godzilla and Babyzilla are there.
Yeah. We follow their journey along the beach and eventually to a quarry where Seiko tells Goro that Kumonga is asleep under the rocks. Goro trips and knocks a few rocks down into the chasm, which makes us gasp a little bit. Uh-oh, but all seems well for now. They then emerge at the Redwater pool where Goro is startled to see Minilla and Daddy G, but Seiko says it's fine. Minilla is just studying now, which indeed we see as the smaller G mimics the larger G's roar.
This is the most obvious teaching guidance part between them. And again, if you are listening to this, you solo G-head, this is a man in a giant rubber suit as Godzilla with another man in a tiny, very weird looking Babyzilla suit. So you need to picture this, because the interactions you could kind of fob off, I guess the sleeping part and the tail part, but now you're watching Godzilla being a dad. It's well worth watching.
Oh yeah, man. And yeah, it's this, he's studying, he's learning how to roar. Goro quips that he feels sorry for Minilla because his dad seems like such a stickler for studying.
So is that when they mention the education fanatics?
I think maybe this is another instance of our subs not matching, but yeah, that's essentially what's going on here. He says his dad seems like a real hardcore for studying.
So he picks on that, but I think he makes a reference to Tokyo. He's like, oh no, in Tokyo we have education fanatics. And as someone who has worked in South Korea, like you can definitely understand how real it is and how real it was even back then, because if you are not from South Korea, Japan, or China, you cannot understand how hard their children study.
Oh yeah, constantly.
Compared to ours. It is wild. The wildest thing is that the world's best universities are in America and, some of them in Britain, because boy, howdy, do they study hard in East Asia.
Oh my gosh, I know. Speaking of studying, we do see a few more of these lessons with Zilla demonstrating his atomic breath to heat the water, which scares Minilla. Zilla even raises a hand to hit the boy when he shows his fear. But eventually Minilla shoots out an adorable little smoke ring of his own.
Yep. And it's a ring. Like, imagine your Pinocchio movie and the wolf's taking a long drag on the cigar and it's the smoke ring.
I would have said the Gandalf smoke ring from...
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm 60 years older than you. That's
But, I mean, the real takeaway here is that they gave this baby an adorable little puff of atomic breath.
Yeah, absolutely.
When he can't fully do the dragon flame.
But there is a way for him to get the dragon flame.
Yes, so Godzilla is not satisfied with the ring alone.
Absolutely no.
So he steps on Minilla's tail to elicit a proper atomic blast of his own. Yeah. Minilla gives his donkey bray in pleasure after doing this.
So I made a note here. I wrote, Godzilla teaching his son to scream and use atomic breath, scares his son, steps on his tail to help him. And then I put the question, what kind of dad is Godzilla? What kind of dad do you think Godzilla is?
Yeah, this is a good time to talk about it. We've seen most of it. He's old school.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Well, in the context of 1967, is that old school?
Maybe a little still. He is borderline abusive. He, if not outright, he makes like he's going to hit Minilla. He does actually step on the little dude's tail.
Yep. Here's another question. Is he successful?
He's successful. Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is a bad road. Let's not go down this road.
Okay.
Nope. Nope.
All right, so they get the red water.
There, we've addressed parenting.
Yeah.
So Minilla gives his donkey bray in pleasure. Godzilla settles, and Godzilla, satisfied,
Sorry,
takes
whoever's
a nap.
editing this, whether it's me or you, can we just get a clip of Raymond saying he gives his donkey bray in pleasure?
And then Godzilla settles down for a satisfied nap.
Yeah, because he's a tired dad.
Yeah, man. And the little guy follows suit.
Yeah.
Goro and Seiko then take this chance to fill up some red hot water.
Yes, and it turns out they did actually take some water bottles, canteens with them.
Back at the cave, they are tending to the sick when our one trouble guy, Mr. Cabin Fever, he gets hold of another rifle.
So before we get there, can I just ask a question? So you're right, they start feeding the red water to the patients.
Yes.
Because they all have this terrible fever.
Yep.
Do you know what vessels they're feeding this red water to the patients with?
Notice, no.
So they are using, I would say, like large clamshells, maybe not clamshells, like a shell. It's a fancy beach shell.
Okay.
And I was like, why do you have to use that? Why can't you just pour it into their mouths? But they're making a very distinct effort to like put them into a shell, which is not an easy thing to drink from.
Oh, wow. I didn't...
Especially when you're like dying from fever.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
It stood up to me. Anyhow.
No, I think that's a great observation. I didn't.
That's a
clock
great.
that at all.
I know it's a great observation.
Yeah. We're really firing on all cylinders today, aren't we?
Absolutely, man.
You'd think at this point they would start keeping a gun far away from this one scientist, wouldn't they? But
there's a lot of questions you could ask about this organization right now.
But yeah, he gets another rifle and he starts shrieking that he's going home. He shoots the professor in the arm and then he collapses unconscious again.
Yeah, as he's being kind of wrestled with.
Yeah. The professor in close-up comments that we might as well give up the experiment with how things are going.
Okay, I just want to point out to you that up until this point, whereby their experiment failed, it got destroyed by Godzilla. A bunch of mantis approached, everyone's dying, he gets shot in the arm, and it's only at that point he's like, do you know what, fellas? Maybe we're not going to carry on with this experiment.
This is his breaking point.
Like at the back of his mind, it's like, I know things are tough right now, and we're hearing about this spider. Probably the spider's going to show up if we're hearing about it. Yeah. But this experiment's going to happen. And it's only till he gets nicked in the arm by this rifle. As everyone is dying around him. Oh, like, boy, howdy.
And in the very next scene, he's up and fine and talking to Harada about how all the men are miraculously better.
Yes, that's right. They're getting better.
It's back on. Meanwhile,
yep, thank God.
Meanwhile, Seiko's gone off on her own to collect some plants and things to use as
a herb.
Further
She's getting a herb
medicine.
To treat him.
When she runs into the third and last surviving Kamakuras, the mantis rears up and chases her into the quarry that we saw earlier. Slamming its sickle arm into the stony ground as she zigzags away. As she runs, and just before being knocked unconscious, she gives out a call to Manila, who shows up fairly quickly and gives the big bug a blast of his radioactive smoke ring. Alas, it only momentarily stuns the mantis, who retaliates with a whap to the baby's little dome.
Okay, so and then he spins around, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like he legit gets slapped in the face.
Yeah, they trade a few more blows, and yes, the mantis literally spins him around.
So I think again, you need to see this. So the mantis is a pretty scary looking, massive praying mantis. They're not a welcoming looking creature. Mm-hmm. Baby Godzilla knows full well that this creature has tried to eat them in the past. Looks pretty pleased to have run into this mantis, and then gives it a couple of smoke rings to the face. Yep. Like it makes an effort, like it's up for the fight, but it does take a slap from its cipher blade and then spins around, so we get that kind of comedy fight again. No, it's a really strange fight. I don't think we've seen a fight quite like this in any of the Godzilla movies so far.
A wide swath of this movie, a lot of this movie is tensionless.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tensionless. That's a really good way of describing it, for sure.
I think a lot of that comes down to, the presentation, spinning around. It's very slapstick. Also, the music. The music is very rarely making us feel on edge.
Yeah. When I watched this movie, the word slapstick came to my mind an awful lot. I think that's a great word.
And during this little slapstick scuffle, some rocks are now knocked loose down into the depths of the quarry.
We know who's down there.
Where we know that a far scarier foe slumbers. It's Kumonga, the giant spider, and we see the dirt start to shift as several of its horrible, nasty legs begin to emerge from below.
Yeah.
On the ground, Goro shows up with a rifle and roughly shakes Saiko awake, which is both rude and funny. They then run off as the imposing Kamacuras closes in on Manila, but Papa's here at the last second. He gives a blast that sends the mantis flying off, putting an abrupt end to this fight in particular.
So I feel maybe we've seen this 2 or 3 times where a hapless lady is going to lead us to a kaiju fight, and then a man's going to get her away from it.
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty common setup, especially when there's only one woman in the movie, right? So it's...
Yeah. All's not well, though, because down in the pit, Kumonga is now awake, a horrible giant spider that spits a blast of silly string webbing, pretty similar to the Mothra larva string shot from early in this series.
One of the more successful attack methods, to be honest.
Oh, for sure.
Attack from above or have a silly string spray method.
Yeah, and he spits this webbing all over Goro and Seiko. This big creeper is moving and crawling its big, terrible self after them, but Goro uses a lighter to free themselves from the webbing. They make it into a crevice, and even though they appear safe, just being in there, an enormous hairy puppet spider leg comes poking in after them. So this is a life-size prop,
but it is
Toho made.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great prop, and it doesn't take away from the tension. Like, this is tension.
Yeah.
You talked about tensionless stuff. This is tension.
Yes, maybe Kumonga, maybe at this point, from here on, anything with Kumonga, there is some tension.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
If you have watched Lord of the Rings Return of the King, when they go through Shelob's lair, like, it's no different, really. It's that whole thing of you are being played with and they're getting trapped.
Yeah. Peter Jackson surely took some inspiration from this. And I think the leg puppet is a very cool idea. It doesn't
me too.
It doesn't entirely work in this moment, but we will see the leg again, and I think
when
it's
in the cave.
Yeah, and I think it's way
in
more
the cave.
effective
It's way more effective. 100%. Yeah. But credit to them, because like it's not just the leg; it's the
Kamacuras.
They're kind of cipher-ish
The scythe
limbs
claws.
as well. They get a pretty good showing as well.
Oh, definitely.
Like, special effects are good on this one.
They are. And Goro does pop this leg a few times with the hunting rifle, but as usual, these tiny guns do very little to deter skyscraper-sized beasties. They do manage to climb out of this crevice, narrowly avoiding a fate of being wrapped up in silly string. And this also gives us a look at the full Kumonga puppet from above as they're fleeing. And it looks very cool just seeing the full spider.
I would say this is one of the most impressive kaijus that we've met today.
Yeah, hard to argue with that.
In design, in appearance, and aura as well.
Yes, that's a great point. I'm glad you were digging the kaiju here. I was too.
Oh, for sure.
We next catch up with Goro and Seiko when they are running into the professor, and he is making some repairs on his own at one of the outposts, saying he hasn't quite given up on the experiment yet.
Kill surprise. Fucking hell. Take a day off.
Before Kumonga, who is now fully awake, comes crashing past through the jungle. Back at the cave, the team of researchers, all better now from their nameless tropical disease, they are dismayed to find out that they are trapped inside the cave. Kumonga is outside and has webbed up the entrance.
Yeah.
And when they go up to check, we again see the spider's massive pink gelatinous eye, like looking in at them.
Right.
And
so they're mostly hiding in one corner, trying to get their radio working. And then one person decides to go take a look with a rifle. And I was baffled by that decision. Like, no one asked you to do that. And you don't even know how safe it is.
Do we know if that was Cabin Fever Man?
I don't think it was Cabin Fever Man. He's... anyhow, so they've found themselves in this location, and the world is tumbling down upon them as they try to radio for help.
Right, and that's also when we see the giant leg puppet come back in again. Kumonga's leg,
which is great,
much more effective this time. It reaches all the way into the cave. It snags one of the scientists,
and it gets someone. Right?
And I think this is Cabin Fever Man. I think he's atoning for his sins here as he's dragged across the cave.
Yeah, it is genuinely impressive, and you think this man is going to die. Sounds dreadful, and I know they would never do this, but had he died, this could have been in the Criterion collection.
Why? Wait,
because it goes from being which we know it is, it's a money grab kids movie, but in the best possible way, right?
Yeah.
To something which is like, oh no, like the fragility of life. in the face of danger.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyhow, but I honestly thought it's like he might die.
yeah.
He might die.
Okay. Well, they do luckily free this man, as you've alluded to, and we do have a moment where the leg is just kind of roving around the cave while everyone's backed up against the walls, waving torches and other implements at it. It's very cool. The leg then backs away, but Kumonga, as far as we know, is still outside blocking their exit.
Yeah, they fucked.
Soon Seiko speaks up, saying there's another tunnel that leads out to the ocean, and so she and Goro, he's wearing this tight little swimsuit.
There are some incredibly uncontextual costume changes.
Yes, yeah, 100%. They just happen.
As equally uncontextual is this magical route. I mean, there is context. You said that's how she escaped, but why didn't you tell these people about it many days ago?
Who knows,
when
man.
everyone?
Yeah.
Well, I know. It's terrible, right?
Anyway, like, all right, let's put aside our grievances and just admire Goro's awesome little tight swimsuit for a moment.
Sure.
So they head out the back way. They set up an antenna so that the research team can radio for help and finally get the F off this scary island. While they're there, they run into Manila, who's just wandering around doing his own thing, cooing and
sweet boy.
Being
a sweet boy.
Yeah, he seems eager to help them. They try to shoo the baby kaiju off, but it seems content just to watch as they set up the antenna before trudging away proudly when they return to the cave.
Yeah.
Manila then runs right into Kumonga, though, who wastes no time in webbing the little guy right up.
One of the most effective ways to deal with Godzilla.
Yeah.
Webs.
Yes. And Manila, in his terror at being webbed, begins stomping around, causing the research team's hideout to begin caving in.
That's right, yeah.
This leads the professor, in what is a pretty morally questionable moment out of many, to decide that they can escape this island if they start the experiment again and freeze bomb it, which would ostensibly kill the kaiju. I guess that's his train of thought. This is psychotic, right?
It's psychotic.
Yeah. He says they have enough energy for it. Harada, at the same time, reports that he's made contact with the mainland and a boat is on the way.
Again, like Red Bamboo were the bad guys in the last movie.
Right.
So you can't pretend that these guys are bad guys in this movie. They've been presented as good people.
Yeah. Presented as.
But I think that's how the audience is supposed to receive them as well. So I think the professor is being presented as this is what we would do. This is the right decision. But yeah, it's a funny ending to this movie.
Yeah. Everyone agrees. And it's game time, Sam. The 50s era sitcom music is playing again. Everyone is scrambling around, getting their equipment ready. Seiko and Goro are prepping an inflatable escape dinghy, and outside the cave, Manila is trading his atomic breath with Kumonga's web shots, but ultimately gets mummified, completely falling over on his side.
Yeah.
Kumonga's closing in, but who should rear up their nasty head from the jungle but Kamakuras comes to Manila's aid here. The mantis takes a flying leap at the spider, but gets webbed down in the process. However, its sacrifice for Manila is duly noted. We get a kind of haunting and suspenseful countdown to the freeze given by the professor, where each second is kind of a smash cut to a different character. So as he's saying, like 9, 8, 7, we see Manila trapped. We see Kumonga approaching. We see Kamakuras trapped. We see Godzilla sleeping back at the pool of red water. We see the scientists with bated breath and so on. It's very fun. Then we see the weather balloon and its little yellow box go shooting up, up, up. And as it detonates, Godzilla's eyes snap open. This is the second time Fukuda has used that. Godzilla's like a close-up of his eyes snapping open.
Oh, when we had him in the cave.
Yeah.
But it's not new. I feel like we had it with Invasion of Astro Monster.
Maybe so.
When they came back to Earth, Godzilla had like a mini seizure and then he snapped.
Oh, okay, yeah. But Godzilla roars and immediately starts heading over to where the action is. But before he can arrive, Kumonga gets really close to the trapped Kamakuras and sticks it with... it sticks it with a long, thin, and sinister metal stinger that emerges from its mouth.
So I thought this was pretty impressively dark.
Yes. Oh,
for this movie.
Yes. It's really gross.
Like, we're making the point that this kaiju will kill you. And
it kills the Kamakuras instantly.
Take your blood.
Right?
Yeah, and take your blood and feed off you.
Yeah.
And we have to assume straight away that's exactly what it's going to do to baby Godzilla, right? Sorry, Manila.
Yes.
Right? So
Tension is
I love the presentation of Kumonga.
Yeah.
They don't come across as the most nimble spider. This is my one beef. Like, Shelob in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings is pretty nimble.
It has the benefit of being CG, though.
That's the thing. And spiders should be nimble. Unfortunately, this one, it does have its moments, but it's definitely vicious and it's definitely effective and it's definitely well driven. Like, I'm into Kumonga in a big way. Not a spider fan, but I'm into Kumonga.
Same. Yeah, same. Exactly. Let's see. The second payload for the experiment is released, the radioactive one. If we'll remember, this is where the experiment fucked up last time. And Manila is shrieking on the ground. Kumonga is again advancing on the baby, now flicking its stinger in and out like a lizard's tongue.
Yeah.
But Big Papa G has arrived. He picks up a boulder and hurls it at the spider just in time. Kumonga retaliates with more of its web shooting, but Godzilla gets Manila up and behind him. And I thought this was a very effective and sweet little, like, blink and you'll miss it.
Pointed moment.
Fatherhood moment. Yeah, it gets Manila behind him. Godzilla sprays off some radioactive breath, which causes the spider to, I guess, just turn and start retreating for a moment. But Godzilla's not done yet. No, sir. He starts charging after, with Manila following along behind and looking up at his dad while he does so. Kumonga turns around again and gets the better of Godzilla this time, knocking the Titanic lizard to the ground in a fresh coat of webbing. This is cross-cut with the researchers in the cave and the professor, sweating and serious, giving the order to detonate the second payload. When this happens, we see a mass of black clouds in the air, and Harada says aloud in the cave that the temperature is now rapidly dropping. Goro and Seiko run in and announce that the monsters are elsewhere, so it's safe to retreat. And Sam, did you notice the costume change here?
So they go from being in a cave to being in, like,
Weather appropriate, like, parkas.
yeah, like a red parka.
And Goro's got a yellow one on.
Precisely. Like, we've been sweating our tits off in these khaki shorts and shirts for days.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we have
Everyone's
these
ready.
red parkas.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, I definitely picked up on that.
Yeah, and Goro ditched his little swimsuit as well. Yeah.
They're feeling fabulous.
Oh, man. Back at the fight, though, Manila steps in to save his dad, shooting his own breath at the beam of webbing and canceling it
That's
out
right.
in this, like, it's a Dragon Ball Z style.
Yeah.
Two
water and fire. Yeah.
Two blasts meeting each other in the middle. It's a very anime moment. With the spray stopped, Godzilla rolls over and gives Kumonga its own blast right in the mouth. And the spider kind of pitifully drops to the ground. Yeah. It stops moving and it curls its legs inward, apparently dead. The temperature on Solgal continues dropping as the researchers leave the cave. Meanwhile, Godzilla kicks the lifeless body of Kumonga over.
Yeah, Godzilla's no fool. No. So this is the final lesson, right? Like,
make sure.
Yeah, make sure. Absolutely. Double tap
it. Yeah. So Godzilla kicks the spider over and leans in for a look, noticing that the eight-legged freak's mouth is kind of open and flexing a little bit. Godzilla leans closer and bam! His left eye gets jabbed by that damn stinger again. Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt bad for Godzilla at that point. I was like, you saw that coming. We saw that coming, right?
We all saw it coming. It's disgusting as well. Godzilla rears back, howling in pain. Kumonga, the big faker that it is, springs back onto its ever-squirming legs. It's been alive the whole time. It was playing dead.
Yeah.
We then cut to the full team of scientists on their dinghy, all wearing those red parkas. They're watching snow fall on Solgal from a distance as the professor pretty much sheds a tear and mutters, "We did it,"
with his pipe.
So self-congratulatory. Even Mr. Cabin Fever himself is getting in on the emotional moment.
Yeah, he apologizes, right?
Yeah.
He says, like, the experiments when you did it.
Yeah. The professor gives the order to get moving, and off they go. Back on Solgal, Godzilla and Kumonga are throwing themselves at each other in the midst of this blizzard, with Manila watching from the sidelines, shooting the occasional blast of mini-atomic breath.
Yeah.
Zilla and Kumonga trade blows again, and we even get a fuzzy POV shot from Godzilla's injured vision. So it's all blurry and fuzzy.
Oh, blurry.
Yeah, it's very
it
cool.
is,
I liked that. And then Godzilla takes hold of Manila, drawing him to his side in another paternal embrace before they let off a double blast, both of them at once, of fiery breath, which is the killing blow against Kumonga, causing it to curl up and go up in flames at the same time. And it's pretty obvious now that it is, in fact, finished.
Yeah. So here's the horrible thought we have to have of this is Godzilla has taught Minizilla how to defeat Kumonga, right?
Yep.
So we have to elaborate upon that in that there was Mama or Papa Kumonga that taught Kumonga to wrap its legs up if it felt in danger, right? This is a protective move to make sure that, if you're losing, maybe they'll leave you alone, right? So we're eradicating one spider's parental instincts and celebrating another's kaiju's parental instincts. And I think that's sad that we can't celebrate both.
Oh, that's a much more poignant and human read than mine, which was Kumonga's a nasty, horrible thing, and spiders always curl their legs up when they're dead, and it was
perspective is everything, correct?
And it was as a last gambit trying to fake Godzilla out. Yeah, your read is much sweeter.
But you're right. So, but as you said, it's a blizzard now on Segal Island.
Yeah,
and we're pretty much at the end. So they're on their boat.
Well, yeah. So from this dinghy, we see like an animated time lapse of the island. So all the palm trees are becoming slowly frosted. The beach is filling up with snow. The water's freezing over.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Godzilla and Minilla trudging rather forlornly through the snow amid this worsening blizzard.
It's miserable. It's absolutely miserable.
Minilla face plants. And Godzilla doesn't seem to notice. He's still shuffling along with his head down. And Minilla's cries in this moment are becoming slower and weaker.
Yeah, whimpering.
Godzilla looks up at the sky and roars, but he continues forward. And we see a close-up of Minilla's poor face watching his retreating father, raising an arm up after him. And his eyes slowly start closing, his head drooping down. It's pretty fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah. Did you feel that way about Kumonga?
Nope. Not for a second.
Generations wiped out.
But
yeah, you're right.
But thank you for keeping that torch lit. During this scene, I forgot where I was. I forgot I was watching this. I forgot I was watching Son of Godzilla in this scene.
I think you're right. Like, Kumonga brings the tension, and then like this ending is so different.
Yeah.
And poignant.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the most poignant ending. I have to recall the first one, even the second one. But it's definitely one of the
first one was pretty up there. But
this is a very poignant ending.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we have to think about Godzilla. Maybe there's been other ones where we've had to have a bit more love for Godzilla. But it's like we do have to feel bad for Godzilla and his baby.
Yeah. Minilla, in this moment, it genuinely looks like he's dying. But Fukuda isn't going to do us like that. Godzilla turns around and he helps Minilla stand up.
Yep.
They embrace each other in the snow.
They embrace.
On the raft, and this is very reminiscent to the ending of Ibira.
Yep.
Seiko says she feels bad for Godzilla, but Goro comforts her by saying they'll be okay. They'll just hibernate until the snow's gone.
And he's basing that on absolutely what?
Nothing.
The way he presents it, like, you're absolutely right. It's based on nothing.
Yeah.
But the way it's presented is like, that's what's going to happen. And again, as people watching these movies way more closely than they need to be watched, we know Godzilla can fall asleep in ice.
Yeah.
Because that's
we know
how
from
Kobayashi.
Godzilla raids again. Yes, that Godzilla can survive in ice. So we as audience members know, okay. But if this is your first Godzilla movie, if you're a kid watching this movie, damn, dude, like this...
No, you're watching Godzilla freeze.
Yeah, this is like Bambi level trauma.
Absolutely. Yeah, and a baby. Like baby Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla and his baby. It's a pretty easy way to explain away what is ultimately a seriously sad statement about humanity's pride and nonchalance with fucking up the planet to get what we want out of it.
Yeah. So that's how you see it.
Yeah, that's how I saw it. And granted, I'm a cynical person, so
we can always find a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think that's spot on, actually. I think there's a lot of writing that's based around that. Humans would always find a drug or a reason that allows us to escape from the damage that's being caused.
Right.
And like, that sounds so over the top, but if you see the ending of this movie and you watch Godzilla and
this is a tonal, like, full-on shift.
If you see it in the movie, you'd be like, no, it's pretty poignant.
I was totally thrown for a loop in a good way. I genuinely
me too.
Was impressed by the ending here.
That's why this movie is so much better than Ibira. And I feel dreadful for Abira because there's a really good concept that's just been put in this kind of, as we said, Saturday morning cartoon routine. This movie has layers to it that are worth talking about, like parenthood, climate change, feminism. There's a lot you can talk about with this movie, and it's introducing new stuff in a really entertaining way.
Yeah, that's true.
And Kumonga's badass.
All right, we're almost to our final thoughts. Let's put a bow on it very quickly. So our last few moments are the scientists being startled by a submarine, and
which is pretty... It's not novel.
No.
It's not novel for Godzilla franchise, but I didn't realize it would be a submarine they would send to rescue these people.
Sure, yeah. They didn't know either. They have and I think literally they used it just so they could make a gag out of it because they saw Godzilla approaching them as a surge of water earlier, and now we're seeing it. They have a little laugh that, you should have told us it was a submarine. You scared the daylights out of us. This is intercut with Godzilla and Minilla freezing to death.
Yeah.
So we see them. We cut back.
Who's captaining the?
It's a bunch of foreigners who,
a bunch of white guys.
Some white guys who are in the movie for 2 seconds. But before we even see the foreigners, we go back to Zilla and Minilla, who are now up to their waists, tightly embraced, eyes closed, heads kind of down and facing each other. Then we go to the submarine one last time, where the professor offhandedly speaks to these two foreign sailor extras. They're all gumming on pipes, nodding along. Goro says to Seiko that when the snow melts, Godzilla and his son will probably live on that island. They'll be fine. Right. And Seiko holds a hand up and says sayonara, and then we see...
Yeah, sayonara is the big end.
Mm-hmm. Then we see Godzilla and his son again, that same sad shot before we get a last look at the now white island from a distance, and then the end title card comes up. Damn.
Absolutely. Crushed it.
Whew. Now let's give our final thoughts on the movie. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, happily.
Okay.
All right. So as we've kind of already spoken about, I really didn't enjoy the last one.
Yep.
I would possibly say it's the weakest of all the ones we've watched so far, but this really brought the franchise back to me. I was delighted to go back to a world rather than a one-off kind of spin-off that clearly wasn't meant for Godzilla. And we're seeing Godzilla carry on as a guardian, which is how we left him first with Ghidorah, the first Ghidorah movie, and then Astro Monster. And it's good to have him back, have that stream going back on. Baby Godzilla, wow, that's a new take. It rejuvenates the movie the franchise in so many ways. It develops Godzilla in so many different ways. Some lame parts of this movie is, that we kind of talked about, is the presentation of women is dreadful.
Yep.
And we are kind of going back to the well of man versus nature and destructive power. You did a really good job of kind of summarizing the end of the movie, where you have Goro kind of defending the outcome, but what we visually see is the opposite of what he's describing.
Yeah.
And my kind of truck with this movie is, I don't know, maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but how the good guys, that is basically this UN group with a master scientist, think they know better, and it clearly messes up. And I think you see that through a lens of, that's how humans treat the world, and look how wrong they always are. Especially when you say they just take over this woman's cave. Like, they just see the world as their plaything, and they can take whatever they like. I just don't think that's the message the mass audience would have got. I think the message they would have got is, we know best, and men know best. But I think you're right. You know what? Like, you can take this movie however you wish to see it when it comes to the moralizing. But Kumonga's fantastic. What a great kaiju.
Yeah.
Hope to see more of them. Baby Godzilla stole my heart in ways they probably didn't want my heart to be stolen. Love this movie so much more enjoyable and breezy, and I don't have many issues with this movie. Mostly it's the illogical writing around Psycho.
Sure,
but that's it.
Sure, and well said, man. I think most of all happy that you enjoyed it so much. For me, I think the ending elevates the film a lot.
Yeah, the end of the movie, but Kumonga as well. Sorry, to interrupt.
No. The ending elevates it, but the movie itself, I think we might be having switched reactions to Ibira and this film. I think I enjoyed Ibira because it was so strange and it's just an oddball entry. This one, it's definitely lower down on my list, but the more I talk about it, the more I talk about and reflect on the ending, and especially when I was watching it, I felt totally different about the movie at the end than I did midway through. So the ending does a lot for it. And Little Man Machan and his very spirited performance as Minila definitely stole my heart. First of all, this film should be called Godzilla Tropical Freeze, which any Donkey Kong fans out there should appreciate.
So wait a minute. So you're telling me in West Germany this should be called Frankenstein Tropical Freeze? Is what you're telling me?
Yes, exactly that. It's definitely energetic and buoyant. I like and respect the puppetry with Kamikaris and Kumonga. I found Kubo's lead performance as Goro surprisingly charming. I think it's, as we've mentioned, it's another very masculine production, so that is a weak point. To me, a lot of this movie felt kind of cheap and janky special effects wise compared to entries like Ghidorah and Kong. Even to me, Ibira to some extent. I thought there was some really fun effects work with Ibira and in the fight scenes in that film that I didn't totally feel here, but then we lose out on some of that puppetry.
Yeah.
There was also less interesting camera work of note that I'm always looking for. So aesthetically, it wasn't doing too much for me.
I think you're right in general when it comes to that. I'd say two things in that they are limited with the location, but the one part, and we talked about it, where it stood out was the flaming Kamikura claw. Like that was definitely novel, and also Kumonga's claw. But again, I know that's not camera work, but it did feel like something new, and it felt impressive.
Yeah, there were some cool special effects for sure. Cannot agree more there. I would have liked to see, I don't know, some interesting shot frames. Or I'm missing some of that Ishiro Honda visual playfulness, but I don't think this movie is the Drek that many viewers over the years have claimed it to be. I like that there's no evil human or alien antagonist.
Sure.
It's just man's own hubris and some scary bugs.
And nature.
Yeah.
So here's a question then, because I'm on board with you. Take away the final scenes where Godzilla is embracing his son in this icy coma.
Yeah.
Let's say that's not included in the movie, but you do have this playful Babyzilla Manila going on, and let's just say they walk off into the sunset. Would you have rated this movie less than?
Yeah, definitely.
You would have, yeah. Because I think even with that, I think it was a good touch. It's very out of there. It's the tonal shift is massive, not just in the message. Yeah. In the message, but the freeze of it. Yeah. So you could take it out, and I would still rate it above Ibira for sure, even if it didn't have that ending. But how would you feel about it if it didn't have that?
Yeah, if it didn't have it, for me, then it loses a lot of what I really loved and respected, especially toward the end there. Again, I don't hate any of these movies. I don't think any of them are bad. And there's a lot that I like here, but the ending adds, for me as a viewer in my weird tastes, the ending was such a out of left field surprise.
Yep.
And it's the kind of gut punch that I really love in art.
But that's the thing, is just because you have the contrast, you need to see them, the human characters. They're on this platform on a submarine, smiling and talking and waving, and everyone's grand and happy. And we see that all the time. We saw them fly away with Ibira, right? They're cheerful. But this one felt very different in that the humans saw it one way and the kaiju saw it another way. And it just leaves me to think that, that is artistic, but I don't think that's what the movie director wanted, perhaps, and it's not what he wanted his audience to walk away with.
But then why are we shown the kaiju? Why are we shown it that in that particular way?
Okay, so perhaps I'm wrong, and perhaps it's a new presentation of the Toho, and perhaps we have to call it Toho moralizing now rather than Honda moralizing, because I wouldn't say it's the first time we get kaiju moralizing, because I think we get a bit of it in Invasion of Astro Monster when they abandon Godzilla and Rodan on Planet X, you get that bit of a moralizing when they're kind of abandoning them there after they dragged them there.
Yes.
Right? So maybe it's not the first presentation of moralizing through kaiju rather than humans, but I don't know. My takeaway from it was the kaiju are secondary, and that's the secondary message. The primary message is humans are here trying to make the world better, and this is how we do it.
Yeah, maybe. It could also be intentionally showing us both.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Could be a very gray bit of messaging at the end. Anyway, this movie felt a little like a movie cobbled together from parts of other Godzilla movies. We have the island setting, the giant egg, the reporter main character, a proud scientist, a pretty native island.
We've seen this movie before, yeah.
Yeah.
Screenplay issues.
So while I found myself engaged, especially when there were one of the movie's many kaiju on screen, I could feel that it's been done better before.
Okay.
But all that being said, I still had quite a fun time with it.
To go back to your point that you enjoyed the protagonist Goro more than others.
Yeah, thought it was charming.
Absolutely, totally agree with you. Do you think that's partly the character, or do you think that's partly because it's not your man, Akira Toriyama? That's a genuine question. That's it.
No, it's a very valid question.
You don't know because you enjoyed him in Ibira.
Could be both. I did like him in Ibira. Yeah. I liked when they leaned into him being a scumbag.
Yep.
So I guess I'm ready to admit that he plays a scumbag more than better than a likable character.
Right. He's a good bad guy than a leading good guy.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Regardless, clearly we feel a lot more about this movie than Ibira, I would say in general.
Yeah, I'm more than anything just stoked that you're stoked about this movie.
No. Enjoyed it thoroughly.
So, all right. Why don't we totter shakily over to Kaiju Corner?
Oh, that's cruel. They're like Manila.
All right, Sam. We are two spoiled boys this time with four total kaiju, and 3 of them being new, tying this movie with King Kong vs. Godzilla and Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster in terms of fresh monster faces.
Can we change the name of this podcast to Two Spoiled Boys?
Two spoiled boys. Welcome back.
Yeah. Shout out to my spoiled boys.
So we actually have a few things to mention regarding Godzilla this time. The first being a significantly larger suit, which was produced to highlight Godzilla's paternal role in the film. Its appearance was also modified to bring it more aesthetically in line with Minilla. So changes here include bigger and higher set eyes, heavier eyelids, and a stubbier nose. All these changes were meant to look both intimidating and fatherly, which, let me tell you, sometimes these are not mutually exclusive energies. In that same vein, Godzilla was referred to as Papa Godzilla in the film's marketing.
Are you serious? Not Big Papa.
Not Big Daddy Zilla, but Papa Godzilla. So further, Minilla even refers to the big G as Papa when getting his attention. Personality-wise, Godzilla's adoption of Minilla in this film might mark the completion of Godzilla's journey into becoming a hero.
Yeah.
It's hard not to sympathize with a single parent, after all.
And I think that's the vibe. Like, he's always sleeping and he's teaching.
Yeah. We also see through the events of this film that Godzilla is quite resistant to Kumonga's venom, which is shown to be quite deadly with the Kamacuras. Our atomic monster also can recognize the frequency. I don't know if that's the right word, but it can recognize what's being emitted by Manila's egg.
Oh, sure.
Those radio interferences that it's sending out. It recognizes it as belonging to its own species, so we get a little bit of insight into how the species itself might communicate or function. Finally, we have a second example of the cold being used to contain Godzilla, forcing a kind of hibernation. The last time we saw this was in Godzilla Raids Again, the second film in the series.
So who's choosing the word hibernation there? Godzilla's not choosing that word, is he?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, that's right. Next up is Resident Cutie, the irradiated Godzilla infant, Minilla. This small child monster, also known as the Naughty Prince, Childzilla and Minya, is 13 meters. That's 42 feet tall at birth, quickly growing to 18 meters or 59 feet in the course of this film. He weighs 1,800 metric tons at birth and grows to be 3,000 throughout the film. As an egg, which he does spend part of the movie as, he weighed 2,000 metric tons.
So why were we not calling him the Naughty Prince throughout this podcast? This is outrageous.
That would take away from hearing about it now.
Oh, yeah, jeez. That's a great name.
Yeah, man.
Anyone who has the name the Naughty Prince is doing well.
Yeah, but I'm going to start calling my dog Cosmos that.
There we go. I'm going to start calling you my Naughty Prince.
Please do. Minila's design keeps it pretty simple. He's sort of a small, greenish-gray, lumpy take on his father with an upturned snout, large eyes with ridges above them, two chubby arms perpetually bent inward across his belly, and a small crest on his head and along his back, which flows down to his tail, the precursor to his papa's own dorsal plates. He's a mashup of inspirations, an imagined baby Godzilla, of course, a human baby, and a popular manga character of the time named Chibita. Funnily enough, the manga character that he's inspired by is the same manga, Osomatsu-kun, which inspired the notorious She dance from Invasion of Astro Monster.
Oh.
I'm sending you a link to this character now.
Oh, it's a very round. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I can see round heads.
Like the
massive
eyes and
yeah.
eyebrows, I think, as well.
Absolutely. It's maybe we've already talked about this. I'm sure we had, about how they are turning Godzilla into a lovable creature.
Yeah, slowly and
But
surely.
it turns them into something that doesn't look like Godzilla. It's Baby Yoda before you could make creature cute. It's the Baby Muppets before you could make the Baby Muppets cute. God bless Toho for doing this, but they're trying to make a cute baby way before anyone else did, and it's adorable, but it's not cute. You know what I mean?
I think it becomes cuter as the movie goes on. It definitely doesn't start cute.
You're in love with it, and you always want it to succeed, but you're looking at it, and you're like, good luck to you. Like,
yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of the cuteness also comes from Masao Fukuzawa's performance. I think
the belly rub is insane. And the jumping, and the playing with the tail. Man. Yeah.
He brings a lot to this.
It's playful. Massively playful.
Yeah. And speaking of Little Man Machan, the movement in the suit was pretty awkward for him.
I bet.
He allegedly couldn't stand up on his own if he fell over, and he also had to walk with a wobble. Special effects director Sadamasa Arikawa found these traits to satisfactorily portray a toddler and was pleased with the suit, and so kept them as aspects for the movie. As far as personality is concerned, our naughty prince is quite literally a bouncing baby boy.
Yeah.
He's friendly to humans and might be the most anthropomorphized of any kaiju we've yet seen. He has tantrums. He plays games with his dad, such as jumping over his tail. He kicks boulders for sport and even visibly shakes with excitement at times. He's also notably courageous, attempting to take on bigger foes multiple times in both this movie and future entries in the franchise. Godzilla's adopted son has most of the same physical capabilities and special abilities as his father, although obviously to a much less developed extent. One adorable exception is his ability to shoot those atomic smoke rings, which, in addition to being fucking awesome, can also ring opponents or parts of their bodies and tighten.
Oh.
Aside from this, I think it even happens to that Kamakuris briefly.
Okay.
I remember finding that in the research and then forgetting to look at it.
No, that's a good question.
Aside from this, he's strong and durable. He can also use his claws and tail. And he even shoots off 1 or 2 blasts of actual Godzilla-like atomic breath in this film. Notably, Minilla can also communicate with his father by sending out those brain waves that override radio frequencies, which also has the side effect of disrupting other transmissions in the area many times over. I couldn't find any notable weaknesses other than his diminutive size, but maybe we can assume he shares Godzilla's sometimes vulnerability to lightning. Regarding his roar in the Showa series, there's no way in hell I could have predicted this, but apparently many of his vocalizations are recycled clips from the giant condor in Ibira Horror of the Deep.
Good to know that's still in the game.
Yeah, it's a welcome little cameo, but as we said, I'm sure inspiration was taken from donkeys and seals.
Seals, yeah.
Other animals just sort of crying. And Minilla made an against-type cameo appearance in episode 46 of Nippon TV's 1973 tokusatsu children's program, Go Green Man. In it,
why are we not doing a podcast series on Go Green Man, Raymond?
That's what we're going to do in Two Spoiled Boys.
That's right.
In it.
My name's Sam. Your name's...
And this is Raymond.
And
we are Two Spoiled Boys. In his appearance, Minila was a monster of the week, being controlled by another villain known as Mao, which, wow, buddy, this thing looked like a bipedal crab with the face of a boar coming out of where its humanoid belly should have been.
That's my favorite insult. Anyone ever gives me any guff, that's what I say to you. You're like, what did you say?
A bipedal crab with the face of a boar
I say that.
Coming out
your mum was
of where your belly should be.
Yeah, precisely. What an insult.
Manila fought against Green Man, who's a giant mech hero who, no joke, wears jorts.
Okay, no, I thought Green Man was Godzilla. I was no.
Yeah, no.
Okay, fair enough. Wow, to be alive in the 1960s Japan, good lord.
Yeah, man. All right, we still have quite a lot to go.
Yeah, Kumonga.
All right, here we go. Well, first, Mothra's not the only bug on the block anymore. We'll talk about Kamacuras next, the giant praying mantis. These dual blade monsters, and I'll use the plural because this is a whole species of giant creepy crawlers, of which we see multiple in this film. These dual blade monsters are praying mantids native to Solgal Island who have been mutated by the United Nations conducting weather experiments. The mantis monsters, which are also known as backstabbing bugs, G-mantides, Kamakilas, Gimantis, and the giant praying mantis Gamakara, stand at 50 meters in height. That's 164 feet, and they weigh in at 2,800 metric tons. Their name is a play on the Japanese word for mantis, which is kamakiri. And like this film's other antagonistic kaiju, Kumonga, these guys are marionettes manipulated via piano wire rather than being brought to life by suitmation. The puppets were made mostly from wood, although their claws were made from iron, and its eyes were made from resin with lights put into them for night scenes. Overall, there were 9 props made for the film. So 3 small Kamacuras, 3 mid-sized ones, and 3 large, which must have made for a pretty creepy room if you walked into like a storage closet and you saw all 9 of these things lined up like that.
Yeah.
Apparently the puppeteers worked up in the scaffolding and ceiling beams. They would sweat so much under the studio lights that their sweat rained down onto the set below them.
These must be the same people working Ghidorah's heads and necks.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're the puppeteers controlling all this craziness. Their design, the Kamacuras design, is quite faithful to real-life praying mantids with sickle-shaped claws, rust-colored, ridged and segmented bodies, huge globe-like eyes, long wiry antennae, nasty, gnashing mandibles, and a set of lengthy, thin wings that run on either side of a row of spikes down their backs. And their many appearances across Godzilla media, way more than I expected. They're pretty much universally portrayed as aggressive villains who, unlike most other kaiju, collaborate with other members of their species, displaying rudimentary organization and teamwork. Their special abilities are mostly physical. They have massive scythe or spear-like claws, powerful enough to break through Manila's egg, crushing mandibles, the ability of flight at Mach 0.5 in the Showa era, a measurement I didn't know was noteworthy, and in later entries, they can camouflage.
Okay.
I'd also be remiss, and I'm sure asking for all kinds of online criticism and invective if I didn't mention that in the Game Boy game, Godzilla King of the Monsters, they can somehow shoot shuriken from their claws.
That's about time.
Yeah. Although they can withstand Manila's atomic smoke rings, the real deal Holyfield from Godzilla is enough to take them out, denoting a certain frailty among other species.
Trust me, if you can't fly and if you can't shoot shit, you ain't got nothing on Godzilla.
True enough. Finally, the roars are largely ripped from other kaiju, with the sources varying appearance to appearance. One of the most notable of these, where we're concerned in how far we are in the franchise, is the use of sped up Ibira screeches. Our lobstrosity again makes an appearance.
Lest we forget.
And we have one last entry this week that is Kumonga, the giant arachnid.
Yeah.
This is my own personal worst nightmare in kaiju form. And I'm going to try to get through this without heaving on the recording. This venomous spider monster. I loved Kumonga, to be fair.
Me too. And all I would say about spiders, the bigger they are, the easier they are to understand.
Oh, really?
I can't do small spiders. I can do big spiders.
For me, it's the bigger the... I don't know. They're all terrible.
No, I remember we had this chat when Mothra first showed up.
Yeah. So this venomous spider monster, also known as the angry arachnid, the creepy crawler,
Come on.
Smeagor, Spiga, and Uspiga, is another creature native to Solgal Island, which, oddly enough, may or may not have been mutated by the radiation storms that caused Kamacuras to mutate.
Okay.
We don't know because he was asleep, and we have notes that he was antagonizing the island in the past. Maybe the radiation storms made him bigger, maybe he was always big, we're not totally sure. Within the universe of the Showa era, it is one of the earliest kaiju to have been discovered. Back in 1955, by Dr. Matsumiya, who is Seiko's father in the film, just after the first Godzilla appeared to menace Japan in 1954. So this fuzzy-fanged fiend stands at 45 meters tall, that's 147 feet, and has a weight of 8,000 metric tons, making it shorter but significantly heavier than Kamacuras, yet still less than half the weight of the big G-Man. Its name comes from kumo, the Japanese word for spider, and its design also hews pretty closely to real-world spiders. It has a black, hairy body with gold stripes, 8 wicked and gnarled legs, 6 blue eyes that can change their color to red when the beast is angered, and a set each of horrible fangs and chelicerae, or chelicerae, which are those gross little fanged mini legs that are around arthropods' mouths.
Oh, cool.
In the Showa series...
Didn't know.
Yeah, and neither did I. I wish I hadn't seen so many close-up pictures of them. In the Showa series, and only in the Showa series, its mouth contains urticating, and that is stinging bristles.
Okay.
Additionally, unlike most real-world spiders, Kumonga does not have spinnerets to generate its webbing. It instead produces it from its mouth.
Yeah.
The original prop was 5 meters long. That's 16 feet. So the real prop that they use. That's a huge prop.
That's a big one.
And it took 20 people manipulating piano wire from the set's rafters to make this thing move.
Yeah, absolutely. They did a great job because, you can't put a human in this.
No. And they had 2 to 3 people operating each leg. Again, as you mentioned, it's not too dissimilar from wrestling Ghidorah's necks. Just this colossal tangle of wire. The final battle alone took 2 days to film.
I believe it.
Special effects director Sadamasa Arakawa said that it was a great
2 worst
struggle
days of my life.
Yeah, that's the paraphrase. It was a great struggle with many difficulties to get the wire work completed.
That sounds dreadful.
Yeah, but he was ultimately impressed and pleased with audiences' reactions to the puppetry.
Hey, and mine as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. Where personality is concerned, this is one nasty bug, Sam. Kumonga attacks and attempts to eat just about anything it sees. It's extremely territorial.
Well, so does Godzilla.
That's true. Or he did. It's extremely territorial. It taunts and plays with its prey, and it has no qualms with hunting or attacking larger foes.
He got woke up.
I did get woken up from a nap. I would be pretty cranky too. Kumonga has several weapons at its disposal, including a wicked venomous stinger, again, which oddly extends from its mouth.
That was you talk about the winter ending
horrible.
scene as being tonally different. Yeah. I don't think we've ever seen anything as vicious as Kumonga's stinger.
Ugh.
And it's effective and it's out of nowhere. It's like, wow, you're a bad guy.
Genuinely unsettling.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for Kumonga.
Yeah, man. And while this thing is strong enough to dispatch a Kamacuras in one sting, it only temporarily blinds the big G. Its 8 wild legs are tipped with claws and can be used to either attack, scale walls, or do a real big jump. It can burrow. It can regenerate missing limbs.
Okay.
It has shown itself to be surprisingly intelligent, even playing dead in this film. And why did I write this down? It's piece de resistance.
Oh.
How do you fucking say that?
Yeah.
It's its ability to spit webbing at its enemies and prey, either to trip them up or blind them.
It's very effective.
Yeah, it exhibits it in this film several times over its attacks on Minilla, on humans, on Kamacuras, and even Godzilla. In other media,
Kumonga is no fool.
No, and in other media, it's also been known to cause paralysis with its stinger rather than an immediate death.
It's a spider.
It's been known to huck green balls of venom from its mouth, spit up blasts of pink goop, reanimate after death, and fire off a ridiculously named webbing attack called the Strong Binding Death Cross Net. It's highly vulnerable to heat and fire, however, and Godzilla has been known to roast it a time or two.
Yeah, that is fair. Do you know what? The what was the name of its the jabbing attack with the poison.
The stinger.
The stinger. If you electrify that stinger, Godzilla's got no chance. You put a few million volts through that. So what I'm telling you is Mecha Kumonga would win.
Ooh, I would like to see that. Its roar is more like a series of chirps than most other kaiju. And finally, in our world, not too long ago in 2020, arachnologists Alireza Zamani and Yuri M. Marisit,
named a new spider.
They named a newly discovered southern Iranian species of spitting spider after this kaiju, which is a lovely full circle moment of life imitating art that imitated life in the first place.
God bless those people.
Glad to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's terrific.
All right. So what do we make of these 4 colossal combatants, Sam?
Yeah, terrific question. So I very much enjoyed Godzilla in this movie. He takes on a new role of a sleepy dad. I enjoyed the Mantis. They are good provocateurs, and when they're on fire and when they fly, they're very compelling.
Yeah.
But for me, I have to choose between Baby Godzilla, Minilla, and Kumonga.
Yep.
And as much as I love Kumonga, I'm going to give it to Baby Zilla because they've changed the game in ways that we cannot avoid. I think Kumongas, as wonderful as they are, they come and go. The last movie, Ibira, you thoroughly enjoyed that kaiju, right?
Yep.
And for me, it didn't quite land. With Kumonga, it landed. But with Baby Godzilla, we are shifting the narrative. And they're pretty cute in a very uncute way. I think it would be foolish to not give it to Baby Zilla because they are the future.
Okay.
I get it. I get it. That's where we're going.
Yeah.
Kumonga is a terrific kaiju, but narratively, I want to see Kumonga again in the right places. But Baby Zilla is going to drive the narrative way more than Kumonga is.
Okay. Yeah,
and there's moments in the movie where I'm having a great time with Baby Zilla.
Yes. As far as what he's bringing to the franchise, as you mentioned, that big change, that's personality and anthropomorphization.
All those things. All of it is combined.
Yep.
I must admit, I do struggle with the name Manila. Baby Godzilla, but Minilla. Yeah. I struggle with the name somewhat, but the more I look at that photo of Minilla wearing the Japanese vest garb, it's hard to... how about you?
I love the Manila pick. I thought you would have chosen Kumonga based on how the rest of the episode was going, but
I do like Kumonga.
Pleasantly surprised, and Manila would have been my pick too. Yeah. I loved the performance. I loved everything about him, and I wasn't expecting. I was going into this film thinking it was going to be a gimmick. And,
it's a gimmick.
It is, but it was an effective gimmick. I have been got by this gimmick.
Yeah, me too.
Officially.
Me too.
So... yeah, and as for lineups of kaiju, I think we'll be 2 spoiled boys yet again next time to give a little hint.
Terrific, can't wait.
Yeah,
second season.
Yeah, so fantastic. Next, we have the MVP NPC award.
Absolutely.
Sam, could you tell us what that award
I will do my best.
Is?
So this award goes out to any character, any concept, I feel at this point, who weren't a leading character in one of these movies that deserves time, attention, aplomb. Previous recipients have included the non-existent Budapest Orchestra, Toy Soldiers.
Oh, yeah.
Shaman on the beach.
Don't forget the overly zealous Coast Guard stopping King Kong.
The thank you. Who else have we had in there?
Selgian guards.
Yes, of course, the marching Selgian guards.
You can't forget the Japanese national delegate of Housewives.
That's right. Thank you. That wasn't Ibira, though. That wasn't. Who was it from Ibira?
The giant condor.
Oh, of course it was. Yes. Okay, so
you've already forgotten about
these terrific people. All right, so I'm going to outline the situation, and I'm going to let you go first.
Okay.
So the situation in this movie is there are not many human NPC characters.
Nope.
The movie is bookended by them. So it's either the pilots in the troubled aircraft at the beginning of the movie, or it's the submarine sailors, captains, what have you, officers at the end of it. Those are the human ones.
Right.
I have my own selection, but... yeah, I would like to hear what yours is before I
Sure. I believe, similarly underwhelmed by those two batches of NPCs. So I also went, at this point, I don't even know if it's unconventional. I don't think it is, especially given that we gave it to the giant condor. I am going with the freshly born Manila puppet.
So you're talking the puppet.
I'm talking the first puppet, not totally separate from...
Oh, you mean pecked open.
From
you mean
Little
the...
Man Machan's acting, yes. Just the saggy brown turd of a thing that just
comes
flops
out of
onto the ground,
Yep.
out of its
This
egg.
is Neo from Matrix, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of a horror show, unintentionally funny, gross, and scary. This thing might actually give me nightmares in the weeks to come.
Yeah, so when you think of, like, here comes the baby, it's a very unpleasant baby.
Very much.
I think we talked about that when we got to that point in the movie, right?
We did.
So for me, like, similarly, I was never going to choose any one off that boat or that airplane. So...
No one was memorable.
Not at all. So I went back to the thing that made me pop, and I chose... And I wish I could remember the scientist, because there might be a specific scientist, but the pair of underwear that were boiled with in the vegetable. Because you do get to see the underwear, you get to see the full box of briefs. And we are told that someone washed these underwear in the same basket as vegetables they were about to eat. So I chose, that's what I chose, was the pair of underwear.
I thought we've pushed this segment to its conceptual limit in the past, but now...
Yeah, you've met your match.
Now I see we haven't... Wow, we're not even talking about something that represents something alive.
Well, that's quite right. That's quite right. And you're right. And here's the thing. I was trying to justify it in my mind, being like, those toys aren't real. But you're right. This would be the first time that an unconscious object was the most valuable non-playable character.
You are trying to change the game just like Manila did. I'm going to leave it open to you to make an argument a little stronger.
That's dreadful. No. Make it stronger. Okay, so... All right, so here's my argument against yours then.
Okay.
Yours turns into my kaiju corner pick, like the title of the movie in most Western European countries, but not all of the European countries, because Italy has better ideas. Whereas mine is just a pair of underwear.
Okay. I wish I could say I was swayed.
To be fair, which does nothing other than get a cheap pop out of me. Because there are so few other characters in this movie.
There are so few other characters. Are we at an impasse? What do we do? I don't know if I can sign off on that we can give it to props in the movie.
Well cleaned props. No, you're right. So what are you describing?
The first form of Manila.
Can we give it a bet?
Seal form Manila.
Yeah, we need a dreadful name for this creature. Amniotic sac of...
Turdzilla.
The amniotic sac of...
Infant Island.
Yes. Oh my God. Could you imagine if that existed? Okay. I'll give it to you, but under duress.
All right. That's fine. Amniotic sac of Manila is added to our list. Kind of an anticlimactic season finale choice, but you know what?
A pair of underwear.
That's fine. But we'll talk about these in a future.
So excited.
In a future episode.
Our G-head is delighted.
Yes, but for now, we'll leave them there. And let's talk about our Monster Island bonus picks.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to go first, Raymond? Tell me, Raymond.
Sure.
What is your Monster Island bonus pick or picks?
Yeah, man. This segment is just stuff that we are reading or seeing or watching outside of the Godzilla series, which people should not be surprised to know is not the only thing we watch. I have two. I'll be very quick with both.
Sure.
First, my wife and I very recently saw Oz Perkins' new horror film, Keeper. This is the son of Anthony Perkins, the actor who played Norman Bates in the original Psycho film.
Oh, no shit.
Kept it in the family. Oz Perkins is pretty much printing off horror movies at this point. Keeper is his latest, but he also very recently did Longlegs and The Monkey.
I know Longlegs and The Monkey. When you say, is he the director or is he...
He's the director, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Maybe he wrote one or more of them.
No.
He did not write Keeper, however. I quite liked both Longlegs
Yeah,
and
me
The
too.
Monkey for different reasons.
Me too. So I'm interested.
Yeah, Keeper, I was going to write it off because reviews were pretty mixed.
Sure.
I wasn't going to watch it at all. I'm very glad I did.
Horror movie reviews shouldn't be listened to.
Agreed. Totally agree. It has a pretty nonsensical story, and the main character makes some really, really baffling decisions, especially while voicing that she should be making other decisions.
Oh, okay.
So that's hard to get through. But if you do, you will be rewarded with some of the absolute best, most surreal and deeply uncomfortable creature designs that I've seen in a very long time.
Keepers?
Just Keeper. So yeah, some really unsettling visuals. And you know what? No matter how much you like the overall film, Oz Perkins' movies all look very good.
Sure.
This one is no exception. Bravo on the production side of things, and I went in with no expectations whatsoever, and I was rewarded for doing so. So I would say anyone who wants to check that out, it's worth your time, if only for the creatures.
Oh, again. So.
Yeah. And my second one I saw over a few days. It's a 2-part documentary on HBO Max called Pee-wee as Himself.
Oh, yeah.
It released early 2025. It is a documentary about Paul Rubens, the children's entertainer who made the character of Pee-wee Herman. I don't know if you watched Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I watched
when you were younger.
I didn't watch Pee-wee's Playhouse, but as a child, frequently we would watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the movie. And when you're a child, you really have no appreciation that it's a Tim Burton movie. But when you watch it as an adult, You're like, no, this is a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, man.
But I watched it a bunch when I was a kid. It's so I have a soft spot in my heart for Pee-wee. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I learned a lot from this documentary.
Yeah, he's an artist.
Again, it's a 2-parter, so it's about 3 hours of time. He comes out as gay in the course of the documentary for the first time publicly, even though it was speculated. Also, this was filmed, he was 70 years old at the time.
Wow. I didn't think he lived that long.
And yeah, it was supposed to be a 3-part documentary, but 2 weeks after the filming of the second part, he succumbed to a long battle with cancer that he was keeping secret.
Like, 70 is pretty good for a man that lived his lifestyle.
Yeah. And for being his age, during the making of the movie, you can see how together and wry and smart and warm and funny he still is.
What's this called?
It's called Pee-wee as Himself.
I'll watch that.
Yeah. I think he agreed to make it because he wanted to set the record straight about his, the whole like public exposure thing.
Oh, he knew he was done.
And there was like this weird witch hunt for him as maybe a pedophile at one point. And these things are just, pretty sad. The whole thing was funny, heartwarming, and very, very sad. And
I think culture just moved away from Pee-wee. Like, Pee-wee definitely had his moment, and like the B-52s, it's just been frozen in time. And he wasn't allowed to escape that time bubble. But I would definitely watch that documentary.
It's well worth a watch. I also learned that Lawrence Fishburne and
he was the cowboy.
Yeah. And there was another, Natasha Lyonne was like one of the child actors.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well worth a watch. And that's me.
So originally I planned to talk about a podcast and then a bunch of books, but it's all been kind of kiboshed by the events of this week. This week, as we record this, is the World Darts Championship. So it is literally the world's best darts players are having a
This is taking such a turn. Okay. It's like the ending of Son of Godzilla. Wow.
That's right. Okay. They are playing off tete-a-tete in England, in Alexandra Palace in London. It's called Ali Pali. And I feel darts is somewhat sequestered to a lot of people's basements or pubs or garages. But in the UK, and I mean the UK, not just England, darts is very important competition. And not just England, the Dutch are also very well involved. And as of today, they finished the semi-finals. Tomorrow is going to be the final. And I cannot recommend anyone more to watch a game between Gary Anderson, Scottish fella, and Gian van Veen, a Dutch gentleman, in the semi-finals of this competition, to just get across the passion from the players, the audience, and the audience is very much boozy, rowdy, British European audience. They're singing football, soccer chants, and also the commentary. Darts is a game I think a lot of people have played, but when you see it played at the best level, it's intoxicating. And I feel like more people need to kind of spread the good word of darts as a sport or as a game.
Spectator sport.
Even a spectacle. I would love to take you or anyone to just watch what darts means. Or in this audience, you'd have the time of your life.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I was planning to talk about other things, but like, it's a good time to be a darts fan.
Nice. I respect the hell out of you bringing something new, because we talk about movies and books and stuff every time. And yeah, I've never even...
You didn't know?
I love a game of cricket, but I've never...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I've never even thought to watch... to watch a professional game of darts.
When you see the best do the best, and it's hilarious. It's also really camp because you get to watch. Here's the thing: darts players don't look like Olympic athletes. They look like beer drinkers. They look like regular men, but they come out to the same bravado that boxers. They have bodyguards, they have loud music, and they're brought to the arena. It's a spectacle. Let me tell you. And the fans buy into it. Like, it's gorgeous.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Well, we have just one more thing to do, and that is to leave everyone with a little hint at what's coming up. As mentioned, we'll be taking a little bit of a break between this episode and the next, but when we do return, and, we might have a little mini episode in between proper film recaps, but when we do return... It will be absolute bedlam, Sam, with 1968's Destroy All Monsters. This is an entry I've been giddy with excitement to get to. It was my favorite movie as a young Godzilla fan, so I am pumped to see it from an adult's eyes. I am not exaggerating when I say we will be spoiled for choice with Kaiju Corner next time.
Okay. So we're going to have to think about how we're going to present all of this podcast, because it could all be Kaiju Corner.
Maybe so.
No MVP, NPCs.
Yeah, we'll just dispense with the whole format for that episode, maybe.
Yeah, we're just going to list the bad boys and figure out from there. That's terrific. Can't wait to be there. Destroy All Monsters. That's a pretty evocative title.
Yeah, should be fun. So anyone who listened, again, if you want to reach us throughout this break, gspotpod@gmail.com, GEE spotpod@gmail.com. If you have enjoyed this or any other episode we've made, please think about leaving us a review. It'd be awesome. And yeah, thank you for listening so much. And thank you, Sam, for all your work.
Oh, me, yeah. Thank you for the series. Yeah, it's nice to leave on a positive note.
100%. It's been an absolute blast.
It's been an atomic blast.
Lovely. And I think we're even better friends now than we were when we started.
Yes, we're very patient friends.
I hope that's not presumptive. All right. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Nice one. See you in the future.